Thanks, Logan.
You're welcome.
Hello and welcome back to a Roundtable, back in for episode 6 of the campaign. Of course, it's been a long time since we last saw you all. 2020, before Christmas, we've had a few hiccups, and of course, we're streaming on a Saturday. We'll be doing a double whammy this weekend, of streaming Sunday as well, so you can expect a D&D fueled weekend. And we do actually have a few announcements for tonight. Firstly, as you can realise, the stream is looking pretty different. We got this funky, weird, sandy background. We're doing a few little revitalising things, and if you'll see, just below my name here, that is a thing called a stream boss. So if you drop a follow, you'll take a few hit points off, and if you reduce the stream boss to 0 health, you become the new stream boss. So the first person to beat this is the one who kills us, and then people can have turns killing you. It's really a community building exercise. Now, other announcements for the night. Of course, you will notice that Alex, who plays the new character Shaw Seacasty, cannot be joining us tonight, unfortunately. Apart from that, anyone else got anything to share?
It's my 1 month anniversary.
Of what?
With my new girlfriend.
Oh! Congratulations.
That's exciting.
Well done, well done.
I also have an announcement to make.
Go ahead.
I am suffering, that is all.
The game hasn't even started, you can't make assumptions already. Okay.
Elijah, will you marry me?
Yes.
Okay,
Well, there's a new announcement.
new announcement.
No wonder he's suffering.
Yeah, I can see why.
Wow! I can see why he's suffering now.
New announcement, Logan and Elijah are engaged. You heard it here first. Brand new breaking news. Any more announcements? Maybe actual announcements? Or are we ready to begin for the night? I guess ready to begin for the night. Also, I actually do have one announcement. Our own Elijah here, he DM'd a game the other... Was it? Oh, it would have been the other week on please remind me of the name of the Twitch channel.
It was last weekend.
Last
Dungeon
weekend.
for all.
Dungeons for all. Dungeon for all. And if you want to head over and see how he did, by the way, he did amazingly. So if you want to head on over and kind of give a watch, I assume it'll still be on my Twitch channel. We'd appreciate it. Always good to give support to the rest of the D&D community. But with that,
I guess I have an update for that as well.
You do?
I will also be DMing over there at some point.
okay, you heard it here first. We are merging into Dungeon for all. We are being absorbed apparently.
Yeah, conglomerate. We're being eaten alive.
It's a monopoly. Yeah, but we'll go and watch out. Is there a date for that? A specific date or?
They have not set a date for me yet.
Specific date, but I'm sure we can give you. If there is a date by tomorrow, we'll tell you on the Sunday game. But that was more announcements than I was anticipating, and as always, a huge thank you to Sirenscape for providing us with this smooth jazz you're hearing right now. It really relaxes your ears, and you'll be able to enjoy this nice cinematic soundscape throughout the session. Now,
Sirenscape, we fucking love you so much, dude.
I swear every single episode we try and get a sponsorship. It hasn't worked.
Yeah, I've been trying to message him on Facebook too.
Mr. Sirenscape, come on, help me out here.
I sent them a business email a little bit ago.
Oh. Anyway, slightly off topic. And with that, we shall begin tonight's episode of the Roundtable. Let's go. And look at this. We've got a new main game screen as well. It's pretty different. We've also got a follower goal up there, so if you'd be so kind as to implement and get that a bit forward, we would appreciate that. So a change over of music, and I'll be ready to begin. Okay.
Oh boy.
That is not what I wanted, my apologies. That was a tiny bit. Okay, they're all light and fluffy. Not the vibe I'm going for, I will admit. When I put in music, Winter March, I don't expect flutes. This is... we're not saying bad things about Soundscape here. No.
Never.
Soundscape is amazing. Yeah.
I
Everything
think
about
the
it's great.
Winter March by
Defamation.
Soundscape is really a beautiful piece.
It's a beautiful piece, just not what we need right now. We need something like this. Yes, wonderful. So, it's been a while since we last played, but where we left off, a party was heading north from a town of Orzarest, trudging along paths in late autumn, heading to a famous comedian, Arvis Bell's expansive estate, to attend a ball. A new party member was found, admittedly hiding among the cart and the hay, in the form of a fantastic performer and weirdly flirting with it with everyone, Kishore C. Cassidy. And you all finally made it onto the ancestors' path as the first snow of winter laid itself down. Near the end of a long day's travel, just as you were beginning to look for an appropriate campsite, shouts and screams broke out from the still evening air. Upon arrival, you found men in chainmail with halberds, attacking a group of terrified, broken villagers. Some already lay dead on the floor in various positions, and others were retreating backwards, terrified. These armoured men had these large kind of symbols on them, and you quickly discerned they were from a splinter mercenary group known as the White Wings. Brutish raiders who usually travel in large, vicious packs. Where we pick up in the late evening, as the stars are beginning to poke their heads, as the air is frosty on the back of your neck, making your hair stand up. The air is almost kind of burning to breathe as you breathe it in. It makes your lungs feel shallow and cold. It's like breathing in fire. And you stand in the battlefield among the grueling camp, but you look around you. These men in chainmail who had been terrorizing villagers before now lie in various states of death around you. Some experiencing a final death throes as they kind of twitch and spasm on the floor, blood seeping out of various wounds. You all kind of turn your head to a peripheral vision as you see an angry Leocas kind of get subdued by Lugos, and one last remaining man in chainmail with kind of visible injury sliced across his shoulder, his hand kind of on his chainmail, clenching it hard as blood runs down, running into the forest. Escaping, honestly. But as Leocas is kind of subdued and the night air begins to remain still around you, the screams have stopped, the fighting has stopped, and everything is calm. You hear a kind of a rapid breathing, and you, out of the corner of your eye, you kind of start your head round, and you see next to this kind of horseshoe formation of carts, various of the villages you had seen before. They look absolutely terrified. Their faces are pale, and they're all huddled behind this one woman with kind of these large elven ears, straggly grey hair put up in a bun, and kind of very wrinkled kind face with a large walking stick essentially, and she's there in front of everyone behind her. She's kind of poking a stick towards the entire party as you stand among the bodies, covered somewhat in blood, mud, and snow. Get back! Get back! And that's where we begin. What is everyone doing?
Just want to make sure that Leocas is currently tripping down.
Yeah, I failed everything.
I'm gonna turn around to look at Maverick. I look at Leocas. What the blazes has gotten into you? Are you serious? You're about turning into murderous hobos. Good lord.
Yeah, Leocas is too high for this.
What about Maverick?
I'm doing alright, I think. Oh, my eyes hurt.
Aren't you supposed to be of celestial descent? Right?
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, I suppose that you're probably good by nature, right? You want to help people.
Yeah, just hold on. G Maverick that's just like desperately rubbing his eyes. Like there's this kind of like this this stain of this just discolored tears that was running down his face. I just never dealt. What the hell is going on? I can't see very well. I need a minute.
Oh, you damn near lost control. It's really a bad sign if I'm the one that has the most control over the situation. If I'm thinking the straightest, alright? You alright, Joy?
Excuse me.
Christ,
I'm
man.
just confused as to what the fuck is going on with those two.
Joy, as you kind of say this, I assume you're kind of the closest to the carts and the villagers. And
Yes.
as you say this, you kind of turn your head and you see the old lady in kind of a flash rush forward of a cane, and Lugo, she rushes straight towards you with a cane and just hits you right in like the back of the knees and tries to get you to fall to one leg, and she's like, yeah, take that, you fiend! And starts whacking you repeatedly like on the back of the shins.
Can I just grab the cane?
She's an old lady, I'd say, yeah, you have no roll. You can just kind of reach your hand down and grab the cane. And she's kind of whacking you and just goes, who are you? Oh.
I'm just gonna like look at her like disappointedly. Are you fucking serious?
You killed all those people. You're not going to kill us too, are you?
Maybe if you keep hitting me. No, I'm just kidding. Of course not.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I will say this lady is probably about 4'8". She is elvish, but she's like walks with a hunch, and she's nervous. Her face just goes pale as you say that. Then she seems to regain some kind of nerve.
I'm not gonna hurt you, alright? We saw that you was in trouble, so we jumped in and I helped out. Those people were about to kill you, so I thought it would be a good idea to help you.
Yeah, well, what about him? And she like sends a shaky finger across to Leokas. He's kind of still being restrained.
Leokas is just kind of like rolling around in the grass, just playing with like fucking the flowers.
He's
I
gonna
don't
be
trust
alright,
that one.
He's not gonna
Okay,
hurt
I
you
don't
right now.
Lugos,
I
look!
subdued him.
It's a little bee!
I see it.
Look at
I
it!
fed him some mushrooms that I foraged in the forest. He's not gonna hurt you, don't worry about him.
Oh, my grandson has a business like that.
Alright.
It isn't very good. And he ended up in prison for a few... I haven't seen him in a long time, honestly.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Alright, listen, I don't run a business or nothing. I'm good with herbs and such. Well, tell me the situation. What happened? Why was they attacking you and your friends here? Also, what are you doing all the way out here in the forest?
Young man, do you have no manners? We bury the bodies first. No matter how bad these people were, they deserve to have a proper burial. You see, she seems to have calmed down. She kind of reached her hand out, kind of coyly, to kind of regain her cane, so she can't really walk without it.
Yeah, I let go of it.
Yeah, she kind of regains her stance on it.
Oh, sure. We can dig them a couple of graves. You have shovels on you.
Well, of that I'm not too sure. Let me ask. And she kind of turns around. Jakaya, Walt, Henry, do we have any shovels? And you see these kind of two very kind of nervous half-elves kind of come out from behind and are like, yes, yes, grandmother, I believe we do have a shovel. So it's like, well, get it then. No, yes, grandmother. She kind of go around, and you hear kind of some clinking and kind of clanking as they climb onto the car and begin to regain the shovel. And they come out a few seconds later. Here you go, grandmother. Thank you, son. Kind of extends out to you. Well, you don't have all day to be digging, do we? It is almost night. And you know, wolves come out in the night. Sir, you look a bit like a wolf, young man. It's the facial hair, I think. The nose, maybe, as well.
a wolf. I've seen it.
Don't mind him. He's a little elevated at the moment.
Special, yes, I know.
Oh, bashful indeed. All right, well, let's get to it. You only have the one shovel.
She kind of turns. Jakaya, Walt, is that the only shovel? It's like, yes, grandmother, that is the only shovel. Ah, yes, it is our only shovel.
I can help dig. Ah. Maverick is still holding his eyes, like he's kind of like took a couple steps forward and just kind of like has his arm out.
The old lady kind of sees us and she turns and says, and she kind of approaches him and she's like, tell me, son, what's wrong?
Ma's hurt.
Ah, come have a seat by the campfire. We'll get you cleaned up. The others can dig. You need rest. She's obviously a grandmother.
Her arm is.
Yeah, she kind of extends an arm out and kind of, with a cane, kind of leads you to a seat by the campfire.
Lugos will start digging some graves in like the clearing.
Yeah, it'll probably take you about 20 minutes to dig all the ones. All the graves, probably about 7
Really?
graves. Yeah.
That's really quick for 7 graves,
You're
man.
still
Damn.
relatively adrenaline fueled from combat, so you
Yeah.
have quite, well, you're fast and you're strong. And you,
Leocos,
Oh.
when did you see our friend turn into a wolf?
Well, since
I turn around before he can even answer. Like, don't worry about it. I happened to be next to a wolf in the forest at this one point, and he thought I was a wolf. He's high right now. Give him a break. Ask him when he's sober again, boy.
Oh, I will.
she sounds so scary when she said it. Like, I'm scared.
yeah, that was threatening.
I'm scared. I can't do this anymore. I quit.
Oh, I will.
Like, I can't do this anymore.
Okay, so
She's very hesitant with a couple of the party members currently.
All the party members.
the 20 or so minutes pass, and you, obviously Shaw's there as well, and he kind of walks up to you all at the end. He kind of fixes his crossbones first, gets his hat, puts it on, and I'm going to butcher his voice, but he kind of walks up to you and says, well, I gotta go and check on my cart. We can't leave it for too long now, can we? And he says, he kind of tips his hat and he's like, Madame, to the old lady. And you see as he takes off into the woods to make sure all the cart he left is safe with the horses.
That's totally cash off.
And then in like the 20 minutes you left, the old lady kind of goes around you all, makes sure you're all okay. For Maverick's eyes, you see how she gets like a pot of water, she gets some herbs on her. She's also quite experienced with herbs, and she begins to kind of grind open a pestle and mortar, sprinkle a few into some water, make a kind of concoction, and she comes up to Maverick and she's like, here son, pour this over your eyes.
I'll be right back. Me, just get a drink.
I start gently pouring the herbal concoction over my face.
Yeah, it's
Blinking, trying to blink my eyes.
it kind of stings pretty badly at first, but after a few seconds it seems to somewhat soothe the pain you have and fix it slightly.
Wasn't it dark out here a little bit ago?
She kind of looks around. It's like, no, it's darker now than it was an hour ago.
I think I can see better. Yeah, it still hurts, but thank you.
No problem. Just have some rest, and I'll get some tea on. And you see us, obviously, Lugos are kind of going around, so like cleaning up the bodies and stuff, and the entire camp is looking relatively clean. The other villagers are actually helping you do this, Lugos. They're kind of 2 young half-elf boys, probably about 30 years old, but obviously they kind of mature less. It's probably about equivalent to like 14-year-olds.
Yeah.
They kind of help you do stuff. And eventually, in about 20 minutes passes, and you see it's now pretty much essentially full night time. It's about 9:20 at night, but in this late autumn, start of winter, that is enough for it to be pitch black. The cold air has really begun to circulate around you. Your breath kind of starts to frost in front of you, and you start kind of wrapping on whatever layers you can find, and you kind of sit there slowly shivering in your seats. Kind of these small log benches around a dwindling campfire that remains barely lit. The lady comes and drops some tea to each of you, and then sits down on the bench with her 2 boys, kind of opposite you all.
How in all
Would I be
in hell
sober?
did this happen? Why were you all being attacked?
Leocas would be sobering up, and you see as her face kind of, it seems to... She's got a very polite smile on, and you see as it kind of flickers for a minute, then she puts it straight back on, and she kind of just looks and she says, "Well, tell me, have you heard of a town of Dowry?"
Never been.
Well, it's not far from here, about 20 minutes at the most. And you see her, she really begins to kind of fail to hide what emotions she has. Her large wrinkles begin to wrinkle even more, she frowns. Not 1 month ago, the White Wings arrived. They laid siege to the town and took over, using it as some kind of encampment. This horrible, orcish man, no manners whatsoever, came in. He calls himself the Molten, and he has a large cannon affixed to one arm. He came in. Well, he killed everyone who resisted, and then took up residence in my lord's hall. Remained that way for a few weeks. No one left, no one came in. Supplies started to dwindle, and we all got desperate. Me and my boys here decided there was no point living in that. It wasn't even living. So, we got a cart and we made a run for it. And they followed.
So this town
How
is
far
still
away is this
being-
place?
He said about 20 minutes or so.
Oh. It's still being run by this horrible orc, then.
Yes, Darmar Molten, I believe he calls himself. Him and his, last count was 24 of his soldiers.
I look to Maverick.
Glance back up at Lugos and just like the most subtle of nods. With a stern, unblinking look of like, yeah, I know.
All right. I suppose we could take care of it for you. There's definitely not a way to live. I know more than anybody what it's like to be outcast from your home. Not right.
She gives kind of a very understanding smile. She kind of turns a glance here and she's like, I hate the situation as much as you do, but they're in a walled town. You won't be able to break the siege. We have people trying, but they've taken heavy losses and they're in no position to make another attempt.
How many people does he have with him, did you say?
24.
24.
We had 10 members of the Tyrannum, but they are now imprisoned in the town dungeons. The 24th, doing what they can. They're stationed at Fort Beck, but they're recuperating their losses after Daemar found his way into our cannons, and you don't want to make an assault on cannons.
Right.
Should we aid in the recuperation and then try to bust out whoever was imprisoned and take the place back by storm?
I'm not sure how much you like the idea of splitting up, but it might be a good idea for some of us to go recuperate while the rest of us go and free the ones from the prison. If we want to have a real chance at actually capturing the town back, I think that would be the perfect solution.
I agree.
Of survival, at least.
We definitely need to get these people out of prison first.
Why?
Well, if there's someone among us that really knows how to break a lock, and I just glance over at Joy,
Yeah.
I think we can handle ourselves.
You're good at sneaking around like a rat, right?
I wouldn't say like a rat, but yes.
I'm sorry, like a mouse.
Yes, they're a lot cuter, aren't they?
God, no. I hate.
Hey, they're cuter than rats.
I'll just agree to that notion.
Do you think that you could go and sneak in and break the lock? Maybe free all the fellows that are inside. I might join you as well. I'm no stranger to stalking my prey.
You'll need to bring weapons with you. If they're imprisoned, they're gonna be armless and defenseless. We don't want to unleash them into the hound's den without any arms.
No, definitely not.
You need to smuggle in whatever weapons you can if you're going to attempt to free them. Maybe we should all go to this 24th. Maybe they'll have spare weapons with us that we can take to those prisons. I'll get ourselves acquainted, yeah?
I pet my bow and my shorts are like, I'm already all equipped. I'm gonna, I have everything with me that I'll ever need.
Well, can you
What?
protect the prisoners once you let them out? All of them?
I can try. But maybe it's a good idea to meet up with the 24th first, and then we can go from there with our plans.
Maybe they'll lend whatever sparse resources they have for the prison break.
Aye.
There could also
Alright,
be an
well-
armory of sorts we could loot if it's on the way to the prison.
I've never been a stranger to helping friends out. So, we got your back. Tell us how to get to the 24th. Is it north, right?
And you're saying this to the old lady, I assume, or she's just kind of sat there?
That's correct.
She looks and is like, last I checked, the 24th was next to Fort Beck. That'd be, what? And she kind of counts. 4 miles east of here. Just sat somewhere in the woods along the beck. I'm sure you'll find them. They aren't exactly stealthy about their presence.
East of here through the woods.
Yes,
Perfect.
just along the beck.
Alright, I suppose we should really get a head start on this then. Don't want those fools sitting around longer than they have to in the town, do we?
We shouldn't waste any more time, you're right.
I get up.
I'll fetch Kishore with the cart. I'll bring it around.
Alright. How's Leocast looking right now?
Lekas, make me a constitution save.
Yes, sir.
Terrible.
Yeah. Beautiful.
He's looking. Well, he's not looking terrible. He's in recovery process. He's still somewhat lucid.
He's just medicated right now.
Yeah, he's kind of slightly out of it, slightly in.
Do I have a medical card? Oh God.
Grab my EpiPen.
As you kind of
standing right now.
Lekas, are you standing, or are you sitting down with everyone?
I'm mostly, if I'm medicated, I'm probably just not even sitting, just leaning back against something, just vibing.
Okay. So it's getting relatively late, and you've had this conversation by the fire, drunk some nice tea, and you as you stand, the old lady kind of hobbles on a cane as well, and she says, "Are you sure you'll all be okay to leave? Not any more rest or recuperation? You had quite a hard fight."
Well, personally, I'm just fine. I could keep going. I'm not sure about the rest of my friends. They took a bit of a beating, as it were.
Especially Kishore.
I didn't get hit.
Especially Joy and Cashel.
Oh, well, I cannot express the thanks I have to all of you. And she kind of lets out like this kind of very joyful grin to all of you. Come here, love. And she kind of does a classic kind of grandma hug where I kind of step up almost to each of you in turn. I'll let you choose how you react to that. Just everyone but Leocas will say. Leocas kind of terrifies her.
Wow.
Cass doesn't get a hug.
Wow. I feel like personally attacked right now.
Well,
No grandma hug for you.
No, Grandma.
I feel personally attacked.
I pat
You'll
her
hear
back
you'll
when
be
she
hearing
does
from my
it.
lawyer.
I pat her back when she does. I'm like, right, don't mention it. It's all okay.
Maverick, as she hugs you, she kind of afterwards, she like leans in close to whisper, and she's like, keep an eye on that one. And she kind of gestures like slyly to Leokas,
Wow.
who's kind of
Yes, ma'am.
who's leaning and vibing.
Yes, ma'am.
Got my
Good.
AirPods in, vibing.
And then I give her a one-armed hug, just pat, pat, pat.
Yeah, and she kind of goes back and sits back on the log and is like, right,
Oh, joy.
you all be safe.
We didn't get to hear Joy's interaction.
Oh yeah.
Oh, how does Joy hug this grandma?
Oh, she very happily hugs her. Like full on bear hug.
Can I ask if your eagle is here?
Probably not on
Okay.
her shoulder, but definitely in the
Like in a
trees
tree
as
nearby?
well.
Yeah, like in a tree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, so she kind of gets on a cane and is like prepares to kind of wave you all off in like classic kind of grandma standing at a doorway.
I know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Leo causes just like feels emptiness inside.
Is
I
he
go
kind
over
of
to Leokas and nudge him. If he's like
He went from
leaning up
having
on
an
something.
espresso to having a depresso.
I want to extend my arm to Leokas if he's like down, but if he's standing and leaning, I just like nudge him like, all right, mate, it's time to go. Come on. We got a bit of a mission to take care of. We can't really waste any time at the moment.
Leo Costa gets up, you know, kind of quiet, thinking to himself, and I guess just falls behind.
Are you sure we shouldn't take a bit of a rest here so he can get off his drugs?
I mean, it's about 4 miles east.
You should
I know-
take a nap in the back of the cart with Kashal.
Yeah, how
I'll,
long would it
I'll
take
drive.
how long would it take to reach there? 4 miles east.
the
If we're in
snow?
the cart.
The snow is laying pretty thick now, so the glowing's a bit slower. It's probably about half an hour.
We can pace ourselves so they can get a short rest in.
Oh yeah, we'll rest when we get there as well. But
Okay. Yeah,
we're not
before
going to
we do
meet.
anything-
We're just going to meet the 24th. That's all.
I don't want him going into any sort of battle when he's hot again.
No, he's gonna stay in the back of the cart with the hay bales till we get there.
Who, me?
Oh,
That's
yes.
you. Of course you.
I don't want to be in the hay bales.
Oh, it's all
They have-
gonna be all right.
They have lights.
They don't have lice.
They have Lugos. Go look. You can see the lice.
Is there lice?
Roll
Is it too
perception.
cold for lice? Oh,
Roll
no.
perception, okay.
That one. There's no lice. Hey. Missing like giant
Make
blood
a con
ticks.
save to. Perception, you said?
Yeah. So have you all headed back to the cart?
That is +3 to that as well.
Just 16.
Since we're in the forest.
There's no lice, just various kind of insects.
Oh, there's insects in there, sure, but there's no lice, mate. You'll be fine.
I'm not getting in the hay bale.
In the back of that cart.
Just cover it with a blanket or something.
You know what? Leocos is gonna take the time and the effort to throw out all the hay.
How are you? How are you kind of working
Oh.
around Kishore, who currently is asleep in the back of the car in kind of the classic kind of cowboy way, where I have like the hat kind of drooped
The
down,
hat
kind of
tilted down.
yeah, hat tilted down, arms crossed, kind of
No,
just
we
sleeping in the
don't
back.
need
There's some
that
snow
hay.
build up on his
I
head.
want to
Yeah.
have a mate. We're gonna need that to feed the horses. You got to think
the
about them as
horses-
well.
The horses
Or
eat hay.
get in the back of the fucking cart, just right up front with Maverick. It'll be fine.
Lugos
Oh, he's
agrees. Or Leocos agrees, sorry.
Cleanest spot for me. I'm not touching that fucking hay.
See, nobody wants the hay. Fuck
I'm
you
not
guys.
touching my hair.
All you people are so picky. So what? You got to sleep with a couple of bugs. All right.
Disgusting.
I've been sleeping with the bugs in the forest all my fucking life. I ain't no
Well,
stranger to them.
congratulations.
And you look like a
Either you're
mealworm.
Either you're sitting in the buggy hay or you're sitting on Leocas's lap. Which is it gonna be?
I'd rather sit on his lap.
Well, all right, fine. Jeez. That's just.
I climb in onto the back of the cart. I look back at the group one more time, and I just like cowards, and I hop into the hay.
Okay. It's comfortable.
Nice.
And as you kind of look down, it's comfortable. A small kind of corn spider kind of crawls over your leg.
Yeah. Lugos isn't bothered by it.
Yeah, hard pass.
Yeah, and as you sit down back, you kind of glance over to Kishore next to you, and you think his hat has tipped down slightly more, and you see like a snow build up on like the rim, and it's just slowly pushing its hat down and down. Okay. But you all get in the car and you're gonna head off.
Alright.
Yeah, you get to be in the driver's side.
Okay. So you spur the horses on, and you begin to kind of clop. Well, not clop, there's no cobblestones, but you begin to kind of crunch your way across the freshly laid snow. The stars above you are really quite beautiful as they kind of twinkle down, and the forest, it seems almost eerily quiet around you. You're the only noise you can hear, and you're the only noise you can hear in this forest, and normally you'd expect wolf howls or owl tweets or even a faint bird song of a bird who's stayed up too late. But there's nothing. There's only the faintest kind of noise of grasshoppers trapped beneath the snow. But you head onwards, and you pick your way across a rather beautiful kind of a deciduous forest, kind of blanketed in snow, and you head east towards Forperbeck. Kind of literally, you just head east. You have no specific directions, and eventually you come across a stream, and you begin to kind of head downwards until you come across a camp. And you continue this. It takes actually about 35 minutes. But eventually a small camp slowly comes into view, perched upon a small bank next to a stream. You see, before the camp comes into direct sight, however, the smell hits you first. The smell of decay, death, mud, and squalor floats in the air. In the distance, you see a tired soldier creep out from next to a tree, weary and heavy, washing his mud, kind of crusted sunburnt face with a canteen of water. And then he turns around, sighs, and heads back into his station post. And as you head further on, more come into sight as you glean closer still. A few olive-drab tents stitched together and held up with wooden poles make up the relative infrastructure of the camp. If you glance your head left, you'll see within one of these tents broken soldiers on camp beds, cloth clenched between their teeth as they muffle their pained cries, limbs are strapped mangled to their sides, crimson-stained bandages wrapped around their faces, and splints holding their healed and battered legs together. A single doctor, dressed in now brown burlap clothing, hurries to tend to the half-dozen wounded he has, muttering under his breath as his exhausted legs threaten to collapse beneath him. Kind of rushes backward with scalpels and saws as his injured men lie kind of in agony and screaming onto his cloths all over his tent. The floor of the tent is purely blood and mud. And much like the rest of camp, the air stinks with dirt, feces, blood, with the faintest signs of strong alcohol. Now if you are to look right in this camp, you will see tired soldiers, their faces mud-encrusted with deep bags under their eyes, a herald of not sleeping in weeks. Some playing cards, some smoking, some asleep, and resting against a pile of grain sacks. Others maintaining their weapons perched upon two cannons, which are scratched, dented, and rusted, with thin wooden wheels caked with dirt, much like everything else in sight. But as you walk into this dirty bivouac, you can feel a certain sense of steely determination permeate the very air and run deep into your veins. These people, however miserable they are, whatever the fight is, it is long from over, and they intend to see it through to the end. And you kind of enter this really quite a sorry state, and everyone seems to be still awake at this kind of 10 o'clock at night by the time you arrive. Straight ahead of you is a small campfire. 2 or 3 weary soldiers, dressed in simple dark olive clothing, with a light olive vest and old leather gaiters wrapped around their calves, wear small fur hats, cook over this fire. You notice each of them wears the same sewn-on patch on the right shoulder. And stood beside him, pacing to and fro, is a man wearing the same uniform, with exception to the hat. He's just kind of more fancy. There's like a feather to the left side of it. It's like this large looping red feather. And you see he's got a kind of a scar around side of his face. And you can't make out too many details into this camp, but you see this kind of these soldiers muddled around a campfire, some to the right of you, kind of sleeping and resting, playing cards, and to the left, these screams of agony in a medical tent. Various people mill about as you gather closer. And eventually you come within about 50 feet of them as you draw closer. The cart kind of making quite a bit of noise, and you see their conversation begins to abruptly stop. Their heads kind of turn to you from a distance. You see as they all kind of stand at attention and draw their swords as you draw closer. What is everyone doing?
Well, who's gonna be the first one? This place.
Hey guys!
I thought he'd be sober by now.
There's no response, as they just kind of stand around their campfire with their swords drawn.
He's in the back right now, so...
So, are you essentially just drawing closer until you can, like, speak to them? So about 30, 50 feet away now.
Did we get the name of the old lady, by the way?
You did not, no.
Cart to wake the people up in the back.
You see Kishore seems to be in a deep slumber, but you can easily wake Lulu goes up.
Oh no, I closed Notepad without.
Elijah.
What's the name of that orc? Shit.
The name of the orc was Daemar the Molten.
Molten, okay.
So you sound scary.
I wake up, I stand up out of the cart.
Okay.
I extend my hands out, showing that I'm unarmed, or I have no weapons in my hand. How far away are they?
We're probably about 50 feet at this point.
I light up our area with a light cantrip so they can fully see us.
Okay. That kind of permeates the night air, and you see the kind of their figures more clearly defined. The person with kind of a feather on the hat, you see their face. It's kind of this wide, kind of stoic look, relative kind of scruffy facial hair, scar down one eye, brown eyes and bushy eyebrows. If you've ever seen kind of Gerard Butler or kind of young Russell Crowe, that kind of face, quite wide, quite round. And you see he's probably about 6 foot tall. Next to him as this guy's probably about 6 foot, kind of 4, built massively wide. He could be a kind of a rugby player if he ever wanted to. Huge shoulders, kind of huge forearms and huge hands. And you see he's got this large, flat, broken nose that seems to have been broken many a times, kind of twisted and shot. And he's got this huge, intimidating figure. But he's kind of slouched on one side to a chair, kind of just slowly smoking a pipe, and his head is completely shaved. You see also this kind of small and scrawny kid next to him with his kind of short cropped hair, looking relatively scared. And finally, a wiry man with kind of eye spectacles kind of sat reading a book, looking disinterested. And the guy with kind of feather in his hat stands up and he kind of looks out to you all.
Right, we come in peace. No need to draw your weapons like this, alright? We're not here to hurt you or nothing.
You see as he puts his saber back in his holster and he kind of goes and he gestures a hand and he says, I take it you're not here to tell us whether White Wings have just up and left.
Who? All right.
The White Wing. They were actually taken care of.
Well, that section of them were, but not the ones up at the other place. The ones that were terrorized in the villagers or whatever, we killed them. Yeah.
Well done. Join the club. And as he says this, you see kind of a large guy stand up and he kind of waltzes over. And he overheard a conversation and he kind of rests his like arm on his, obviously, his like sergeant's shoulder and he's like, well, let's hope we're here to tell us about a pay rise. Ain't that right, little leprechaun? And he could look straight into Lucas's eyes.
Leo Cautious burst out laughing.
Lugos just gives him like a deadpan stare.
Alright, fellas, calm it down. And the guy backs off and he's like, so, what are you here for?
We're here to help. A short, elvish woman said that your little camp could be found this way. And we heard about the situation going on in the town to the north of here, so we thought that we would get involved and help out because we're no strangers to helping folks in need.
And what the hell kind of death wish do you have where you want to help out here? I mean, look at this tent here. And you see as he kind of gestures his hands and you see like broken men. He's like, do you have any sense about you?
Well, so exactly that, actually. I do have a great deal of sense about me. I see someone being a cunt, I kill them because they're being a cunt. If there's a whole bunch of cunts holed up in a town north of here, then I want to kill those cunts and stop them from doing all their cunty shit that they're doing. Because they're cunts.
With a bit more tact, I'll add on the orc gold by Molten. He's taken prisoners. We'll attempt to free those as well.
Yes, he turns to his like guys by the camp and is like, well boys, looks like we've got ourselves a poet. And he kind of turns around to him and he's like, feel free to come down and meet the guys. And he kind of gestures to the campfire. There's obviously a few empty seats. They're running on lax personnel at best.
I want to glance into the tent that showed the injured men.
Yeah.
We have a medic on site.
We had 4. We have 1. The other 3 are littered over fields to the north of here.
I understand. This will only be a moment. Do you mind? I have mild training in medicine.
He kind of looks. Roll persuasion. Because it's quite hard to just waltz into a military camp and like, I want to look at your wounded.
Well. Oh well. I can demonstrate my healing capabilities if you're not quite entrusted of new people.
I think my medic is just fine doing what he's doing. Sit down, boy. And just at the campfire.
I'll go over and sit.
Yeah, you kind of look as for the guy with like wiry spectacles and somewhat greying hair and a very angular face with large prominent cheekbones. Kind of looks up and is like, oh, and goes onto his book, and he kind of there's no really seats, so you all have to kind of actually just sit down cross-legged on like the mud around this campfire. And he kind of gestures to all sit down and he's like, so, what do I have the pleasure of calling you all?
Lugos will squat instead of putting his ass on the mud.
Okay.
Oh, Joy's still standing.
I'm just kneeling.
Who's asking that? Is it the Gerard Butler guy or is it the big ugly guy?
The Gerard Butler guy. He's got this kind of greasy kind of mop of medium length hair, kind of slicked back.
My name is Lugos.
Maverick.
Joy. It's nice to meet you.
As you say, as he kind of turns, he's like, well, Joy, I gotta ask, are you too good for our fine floor here? And he kind of gestures to the muddy floor. If you want to help out, you gotta be part of a brotherhood. Have a seat.
I just like give a one-armed kind of like half shrug over to Joy. It's like, I guess.
I'd rather not get my pants muddy if I don't have to.
He kind of just looks in, he's like, oh, you do you, but I'm sure you can see we're more mud than men at this point, so we'll see how long that lasts.
That's
I
fine.
gesture
Right
over
now,
to-
I have a choice.
I gesture over to Leokos. Oh, you can call the dopey one. His name is Leokos.
Oh, well, oh, hey.
Lucas, nice to meet you. I kind of looks
Don't
all.
mind him. He consumed a couple of mushrooms that we found in the forest.
Would I be sober yet?
You would be, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
No, the entire session you're Ambien.
Damn it.
Yeah, he's doing this. He kind of draws up forward and he's like, well, meet the group. This is Caboose, and like the large guy is kind of intimidating, just goes, yeah. This is Wiz, and there's like the very scrawny kid who's just there, kind of, seemingly just staring up into space, kind of rocking back and forth slowly, just turns and says, evening. And he's like, and this is Inya, and he says, guten Tag. Goes back to reading his book.
Oh, no.
They're very talkative. He essentially just kind of sits down and kind of does his own thing and just stares. They're obviously kind of very hit hard and not in the mood for any kind of talking or pleasantries. You have to very much pry anything out of a man like this.
Alright, listen. We want to help, or think of us as unofficial cavalry, right? Backups. So, we stopped by here because we were wondering if you got any resources for us that you might be able to spare. We got a plan to break in to the area where they're holding the prisoners, and we plan to free the 10 Tyrannim that are inside. So then we can have a equal great amount of forces to face them head on.
Son, look around you. And he kind of gestures wildly to camp. This is all that's left of my platoon. We have about a dozen men, give or take 2. Turns out that some of those guys in medical bay turned out. A week ago, we made an advance over the Pry Ridge. Had a cannon in place. Sure you can imagine it wasn't too pretty. We're on our own out here. The 25th moved north 2 weeks ago. We heard nothing since. And it looks like the wings are just fine and dandy in the village. We don't have much we can give you. We're licking our wounds here. You're gonna have to work with us. At best, we have what? 16 people. We're still outmanned.
That's the whole point of breaking into the prison. We rile up a couple of the prisoners, get them out, hopefully, or we could attack them from the inside. We'll send a signal to you lot out here to start your siege. We can divert their attention from the cannons atop the wall.
Tell me, how are we gonna make a siege with 12 men?
We don't need to make a siege if we can do most of the work from the inside. You'd really be just coming in for a cleanup crew, right?
And looks for a second. He's like, "Boys, what do you think?" And the big guy kind of sends it, but it's like, well, I think it's stupid." He's like, "Well, you heard him. He thinks it's stupid."
Is that the big guy that says that?
Yeah, the big guy.
Oh, it must have been the first thinking you've done in fucking weeks, huh?
It's just more of a deathly silence.
Oh, come on now.
That's the best I got to offer, alright? I want to stop big cunts from doing cunty shit. And they happen to be in the way of where we're going to anyways, so I'd like to get this resolved as quickly as possible.
You all
Does
have a
anyone
better
have any
idea?
better ideas?
You see us the guy, the Gerard Butler guy, takes off his hat, shows his kind of crunch shaggy hair, and he's like, "Oh, in my experience, it's not good to discuss ideas so late. I recommend we all get some sleep. If you're staying here, well, I expect you to see here in the morning so you can help out. I'll hold no grudge if you leave in the middle of the night and still be expected. But for now, me and my boys, well, we're gonna head to rest. We recommend you do too. Then we talk about tactics. How's that sound?"
Oh, very well. I'll think about this for a minute.
What-
See you all in the
Right,
morning.
if you want to wait that long, I'll see you in the morning then.
So you're responding with some kind of degree of sass.
I'll agree to it.
Yeah.
Getting some rest.
Is there any kind of underlying sass in your voice, or
Just a little bit, yeah.
just a little bit? You see, as he kind of gets visibly kind of a bit ticked off at you and kind of looks, and he's like, "Look, we have lost a lot. We're getting some rest and making decisions with a fresh head. I recommend you keep that tone down here."
Lugos like bites the inside of his mouth, like, "Alright, I get it. Sure, I'll see you in the morning."
Yeah. Hopefully. And he kind of just sits back and brings out a pipe. Begins to smoke and brings out a flask of some whiskey as well and takes a massive swig. What's everyone doing?
I'm gonna rest, man.
We're gonna go and get some rest.
Yeah, I'm gonna just get some rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rest time.
Lugos was literally not touched that entire battle, so he'll take like a watch it if it's really needed. Stay up with some of the other guys or whatever.
Maverick will be kind of murmuring to himself. He's like talking to himself. It's more like he's talking to someone. He's just like his eyes closed, just murmuring.
Yeah, so are you all kind of finding somewhere to sleep? You see there's a few kind of empty tent lodgings where obviously people had stayed before. And you see us kind of, if you are looking for somewhere to sleep, you see us, the officer kind of gets up and he's like, "We have a few tents spare. Just, maybe clean the equipment next to it before you climb into bed. Don't want any guts falling you when you're asleep."
Very well.
Lugos is gonna sleep in the back of the cart, dude.
I'll sleep in the
He
tent.
wants to check. Yeah, Lugos will check on the horses first and make sure that they're doing okay. I'll take out some of the hay and I'll lay it down in front of him for them to eat. Take out like a couple carrots and give like two carrots each to the horses as like a snack.
Okay.
Make sure our friend back there is protected from the snow. Don't want him getting frostbite.
Right.
Start burying Kashaw in hay.
Yeah, at this point, his hat is almost vertical over his face.
Yeah, just start burying him in hay. He'll be all right.
Yeah, I am gonna cover him in hay.
I'll keep him warm.
I'll head to one of the tents as well.
Okay, yeah, you can... Joy, you're relatively lucky in the tent you pick. It seems this one actually generally is unused. Who else was heading to a tent?
I'll take a tent.
Yeah, unfortunately you go to a tent, and it looks like this might be the old tent of a bagpiper. There's some... To show respect, his bagpipes are kind of next to his camp bed, but there's a bit of bagpiper left on the bagpipes.
I'll just leave it there.
After I'm making sure that the horses are all taken care of and that Kashaw's good. Well, first of all, what's Leocos doing?
You could cost you just going to a tent.
Alright.
The rest of the tents seem relatively empty. And, Maverick, as you kind of settle into your tent, or as you're kind of doing your stuff, you hear someone enter your tent, and you hear, "Maverick,
I'm sorry. I'm just a bit of space out. Hello?
Maverick, take a walk with me." I kind of gestures to you outside of the tent.
Who is this?
This is the officer.
Yeah. Second.
Do I see this happening as well?
You might
You're
hear
with
it
the
happening, yeah.
cart.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm getting up and I'll just get comfortable. Alright. I'll follow.
Yeah, and he begins to kind of lead you slightly upstream and uphill. He seems to be taking you to like an overlook area of the entire camp. As he's walking, he kind of just turns to you. He seems relatively curious. He's like, "Oh, well, son, you seem young to be out here doing this. Where the hell are your parents?"
They're just fine. I've been writing to, family. Being young, it could just be good genetics, I guess. But, traveling and seeing the world, you know, there's so much more out there than, you know, what you were born in front of.
Your idea of seeing the world is this? And he kind of, as he's leaving, he kind of turns around and gestures to the camp with broken and injured men.
The world has many sides to it, and you sometimes have to see all of it. I had somewhat of an expectation. Of course, expectations are always broken. It started with a selfish quest on my own volition, and it turned into
Look, son,
unexpected allyships, and
the less I know about, I think, the better. It's important to keep your head in the game here. Focus on the present, not the past. And he kind of continues to kind of lead you up, and he turns, and he's like, I'm more so curious how such a young person has such a nice sword and nice armor. And he kind of gestures to a beautiful kind of Damascus steel sword you have holstered.
Gorgeous.
one was a gift, and the other one, I guess I'm just privileged. Maybe that's kind of what I'm bracing up against.
Ah. Well. Lucky you, I guess. And he kind of continues on for a few moments in silence, and he's like, so, you travel with a interesting band of people.
Quite nice of a term to use, but they're not all that bad.
Right.
Believe you me.
What's wrong with the ginger guy?
He's a bit well, he's a bit passionate, I suppose.
Well, he may be passionate, but he needs to understand that a military camp works with obeying orders, not being sassy when someone says something. If he doesn't understand that, well, I'm afraid I'll have to talk it into him.
I understand your sentiment. I'll keep an eye on things, and maybe orders on a ladder is a concept for him. I was city watch back in the day.
Oh.
I can talk that into him.
So I take it you're a competent fighter.
In training, yeah, which is also why I'm out seeing the world. I need to, you know, get stronger in my own ways, I suppose.
Well, all I'll say is you seem like the rock in your little party, the only one halfway sane. But you need to understand something, and that's this here. At the moment, you've kind of made it perfectly to kind of the overlook on the ledge, and kind of gestures with a sweeping kind of arm of a camp. This here, these boys, getting these boys home is my main mission. So I'm gonna prioritize them every day of the week over your friends. I'm gonna make it your job to protect your friends. I'm gonna protect my men first. Do you understand?
Maverick just gives an affirmative silent nod.
This is a dick.
And he kind of stands for a second. Well, as he turns, he's like, but saying that, I'd like to thank you all very much for helping us. We've been hit hard, and it's... Well... You're... Like, seems to have kind of trouble saying. He's like, yeah. Yeah. Like, kind of, or somehow.
Appreciate the affirmation and trusting us and letting us help out. And it's hard to rally up strengths in times like these, I suppose, and maybe that's what Lugos is. I guess we'll keep using the same term, passionate about. He saw firsthand, you know, children and elderly being harassed, massacred. It shook him up, I'm sure.
Well, I'm sure that was very traumatizing, but I need him to be passionate about the right things. unfortunately, it looks like he's been passionate about the wrong things. And, son, stay safe. And he kind of heads back into his tent, because you've about made it back to camp at this point.
Will do, thanks. Good night.
Joy, can I ask what you're doing?
I'd like to track down Leocast before I.
Oh. Yeah, I think Leocast was in a tent. Oh, right?
Leocast doesn't good with social interaction. He's not declined. He doesn't have his mask. COVID.
So, yes, you are in a tent. Joy, you can easily find him in a tent.
Leocast, do you have time for a quick question?
Yes, what's up?
So, while you were high or off in another world or whatever, you mentioned seeing Lugos as a wolf. Is that correct?
Wait, I honestly, I don't really recall much from being high.
Well, that's kind of irrelevant. But have you seen him as a wolf?
Do I overhear this conversation at all?
They are in
I
thin
would like to
fabric
say
tents,
that
yeah.
I wanted to keep like tabs on Joy specifically after I was done with the horses. I never got a chance to say.
I will say, yeah, this is a thin fabric tent, so a lot of the camp can hear this.
Interesting. Okay. I wanna like stroll right in with confidence. Is there another bed in there?
No, they're like just single bed tents.
What are you gonna do, cuddle with me?
I stroll right in and I lay down my my bedroll real quick. Like on the opposite side. I'm like, oh boy. Well, I'm beat, personally. I think we should all get some rest. We're all a little tired, right? You took quite a beating back there, didn't you, Joy? You might want to get the most rest out of all of us, right?
Was that a yes or a no, Leocast?
Honestly, I don't think I ever have.
Right. Well, have a nice night, you two. Get some good cuddles in. And she's gonna.
Oh, right, yeah, you have a nice night too as well. Good night. See you tomorrow.
Yeah. So I'll head back to the tent she picked out earlier.
One last question for Lugos out of character. Does Lugos does he do that thing where he like goes around in circles on his bedroll before finding the comfy spot and laying down?
No,
he does that bread kneading thing cats do, and then like spins around in circles a couple times and lays down.
I can confirm that's what he does.
Solid bed maker.
I want to wake up Leocast by licking his face.
Oh, Lugos, you. I'm a good boy.
You
He's good boy. Like he starts scratching under Lugos' chin. He starts like kicking his leg. Cast Zephyr Strike composes you.
Jesus.
I can confirm that is what happens.
As Lugos, I want to stay up a little later until I know if Leocast is asleep.
Well, Leocast is truly never asleep, my friend. It's just meditation. Idiot.
Until I know he's definitely meditating.
It's like,
Sure you.
It might mean you don't have a long rest, because you might have spent about an hour waiting, which would mean you have to sleep in for an extra hour.
Yeah, that's fine. He really only would need to take a short rest, to be completely honest.
Okay, so you're doing that.
So what I'll do is that once I know if like the camp has quieted down, I want to find my way over to Joy's tent.
Okay.
Sure.
And then eat her. Wait, what? You're a witness.
You still there?
Do I find my way over to Joy's tent?
I assume so.
Alright, is she on like a bed or is she on a bedroll?
They're like small camp beds.
I'm a like go inside her tent. I'm gonna kick the cot.
Ugh, what the fuck?
Alright.
I feel like that's how she actually is when she gets woken up like that too.
Alright, listen, I'm gonna level with you, alright?
Yes.
And I come to the side of her cot and like I kneel
He licks
down
her
and like
face.
squat down my legs. So I'm like eye level with her. I hear you asking a lot of questions about me being a wolf and whatnot. Alright?
Well, yes, naturally. We're in a group. We have to have some trust between us.
Oi,
and there's
we're in a
lots
group
of-
for right now, okay? Temporarily, alright? Until we get this whole fucking thing figured out. Objective. Obviously, you have your own, right?
Sure.
Why are you so curious about my condition at the moment?
Group, we're supposed to have each other's backs. There's got to be some level of trust, and I feel several of you boys are hiding something, and I just want to know what it is. There's really nothing else to it. I just want to know.
You boys.
You naughty boy.
Alright, I'm gonna be honest with you, right? It ain't
Sure.
nothing to worry about. It's called wolf scratch fever, okay? I got bit
Okay.
by a wolf, and I have a bit of a fever. It makes my hair grow, and it makes me act kind of bestial. It ain't nothing to worry about. It's all gonna be over within about a week or so. The sickness doesn't last very long.
So you're not an actual werewolf.
What is all this shite about people saying I look like a fucking wolf all of a sudden? Or
I'm not
I
saying
look
you
strange.
like one. I'm just questioning
Aye,
it
but
because
everyone
I
else
don't-
does.
Okay.
As far as I know, I'm not currently a werewolf. Alright? I'm pretty sure I would know if I was a werewolf. Which I'm not.
I would hope so. Did this happen with the whole thing with your sister? Or was this happened in a different incident?
I don't like to talk about that very much.
That's fine.
But
can I do it in- Oh, go ahead.
that is when the wolf got me, yeah. But all this will be over. I'll return to my old normal self in a number of days here.
How do you know?
So stop prying, please.
That's fine, but how do you know you're gonna be, quote unquote, back to your regular self?
Oh, it's because I'm pretty proficient in these sorts of things. I've lived in the woods all my life with my sister. I know certain fevers and diseases when I see them. Oh, it's not like it's not the first time I've caught it, all right?
Oh, sure. How do you get turned into a werewolf? How is this any different? Like I said, I'm not familiar with any of this at all.
Would I know how you get turned into a werewolf?
Yeah, he said in the beginning, it was in the book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like it said the werewolf lord, I think it was.
Yes.
It's the werewolf lord that bites them and turns them into werewolves, right?
Blood.
Yes. Yeah.
Or you drink the blood of a werewolf lord.
You drink the blood for the blood god, skull for the skull thrones.
Right, listen, I certainly didn't. The way that you turn into a werewolf is way beyond what you might think, alright? You have to drink the blood of a werewolf lord to actually become one. Alright, and that didn't happen to me.
Sure hope not.
around asking questions like that in a place like this. Everyone in the fucking camp could hear you, alright? You have to keep your voice down. We don't want to raise suspicions. So many
Can I-
people already don't trust our group because we're like a fucking freak show, traveling around like a merry fucking circus.
Hey, and you growing hair in the middle of the night and growling is gonna help us a lot.
That's just the way I sleep.
Right.
Yeah.
Can I do an insight check real quick on everything that he told me?
Yeah, Lugos rolled a deception.
Let me see here. What was the first one I got?
12.
12, alright.
With that combination, I'd say hard to read, but seems truthful.
Stop questioning it. I just like to know who I'm traveling with.
And yet we barely know anything about you, do we?
No one's asked me any questions.
What's your story?
I'm gonna need a little more, little bit of more of a question than that. That's pretty broad.
I'll see here. How did you find yourself in Orr's Rest? What for?
I really didn't have a reason. I haven't seen much of the world.
And also, what's a tiefling doing traveling around with a celestial? An Aasimar? Don't you two hate each other?
I've never
It's-
really met one before. He
On
was
the
just there, and he was just there, and we found ourselves on the same side of a battle.
On the
Right.
I don't
contrary,
know.
she's hot.
Jeez.
All right. Jokes aside.
You hear one of the local guards in the background.
Yeah, I spoke like down against my floor away from my mic for like the one guy in the stands in the background saying that.
That's great.
No, I was truly out just looking for an adventure. I haven't had much experience in any of that before.
Right, how convenient. You're just out looking for adventure to make your fame and fortune, fighting
Oh,
bad
no, not at
guys
all.
and getting treasure.
Not at all.
Treasure.
Look, everyone's got their secrets, alright? You want to start really trusting each other. We tell each other the
Hey.
darkest secrets that we have.
I am
Tell them.
looking for who may have killed my family.
Interesting. I know you mentioned your sister, but was it your whole family as well?
Sisters and my parents.
What leads you got to go off right now? Anything?
Not much.
Alright.
No.
Well.
Yeah. Not much at all, honestly.
We'll talk about it more in the morning, maybe. Or another time. I'm fucking tired. I'm gonna leave you alone.
Yeah.
You need your
Thanks
rest.
for waking me up.
Whatever.
Could have easily
Maybe we
been
could help
talked
each
about
other
in the
after
morning.
all.
Yeah.
Maybe we could help each other after all, really, but... I'll leave you alone. Good night.
Good night. Thanks for being honest with me.
Deep in the back of Lugos's mind, he definitely has his doubts about his actual condition. He made up the wolf scratch fever completely. He has no idea what's affecting him. I'm going to go back to Leo Costa's tent and I'm just gonna lay down, chill.
Leo Costa's gonna roll over and cuddle.
Yes.
I will say, you're on like a camp bed and he's on the floor, so you'll have to fall off. Take that as a no.
Alright, is Lugos the little spoon?
Yes.
Alright.
Lugos doesn't mind being the little spoon. He likes to be held for once. It's nice. Okay.
Held for once? Oh, that's so fucking sad.
Okay,
That way.
you all retire to the tents for the night, or the cart, depending on what you prefer. And in the night, it gets wickedly cold. You wake up in multiple points to pile on layers and layers as you kind of look, as snow continues falling throughout the night. You kind of wake up, your entire body seems cold and frosty, a searing kind of, a searing cold kind of is just present in your hands as soon as you wake up. You look down, they're like lacking colour, they're kind of purpley. You immediately kind of have to kind of tuck them kind of into your shirt or stuff to really just warm up. The first to awake is actually the people in the camp. You hear them moving about 5 o'clock in the morning, getting stuff together. I'd say the first one to wake up would probably be Maverick, being the most well-rested of a bunch.
Sound like a what in the nine hells have you done to my eyes? Alright. Up and at him.
So you are awoken by kind of the sound of kind of orders being barked outside and stuff being carried around and fixed.
Maverick reporting. Sorry, the city watch is still in me.
So are you saying that as you kind of exit the tent?
Yeah, Maverick reporting.
Yeah, but
Morning.
yeah, but you see the officers at the fire and he turns around and he's like, "Well, nice to see you, soldier. Good morning. Where are your friends? Heard them having some kind of late night party last night."
No, we just had a rough fight the night before. I'll make rounds and wake them up and bring them to center.
Ah, you better do.
I'm gonna wake up. You know what? I'm gonna go wake up Kashaw first. He's probably buried in piles and piles of hay.
There has been a fresh snowfall of a night, and you go around and see under there's like a face kind of nuzzled in like a pile of hay with like a faint hat
There's
on.
There's like a mound of smooth snow, but with a hat on.
Exactly.
The hat has not moved.
Yeah, he's just oh, anyone getting else on echo?
Yeah, Lugos.
All right,
So 1 second.
but you kind of see
It's
it's
like
this
echoing.
right. That is. Do you think it's fixed? Yeah, it feels fixed.
I think.
Oh no,
Nope.
that is messing with my head.
It's just coming in off of Lugos' speakerphone, I think. Wait. Are we good?
Are we good?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Is
Yes.
this good right here?
I think so.
I think so.
Hey guys, I gotta go and start getting ready for my anniversary date.
Oh.
Oh.
Ooh, have fun.
Okay.
I wouldn't tell her you were twiddling with Lugos. And
Yeah, sorry guys. I thank you for the session. I loved it. I shall be back.
no worry at all. We'll see you
Yeah.
tomorrow if you can make it. Yeah.
Spencer, I'll send you more stuff. I got your message late. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. All right. Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye bye. But we're still getting that
Wake up.
echo.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
still Lugos. It's
Oh, is
wait.
okay. We'll just continue for a second while he sorts that out. You kind of head to the car shore, and you see he's got this kind of hay piled over
Alright.
him with a fresh layer of snow all over, and it's just kind of his face with his hat kind of sticking out. Kind of essentially just that's all you can see in the hay. Just his kind of face,
I'll-
the hat perched down.
I'll wake him up and I'll start digging him out. What the hell's... Alright. Come on, mate. Gotta get up.
He wakes up like, oh, I don't know if I found myself in this situation again.
Oh, you really like sleeping in carts, don't you? Well,
Ah.
come on. We have an encampment to go to.
He looks up and he's like, "Oh, you're looking particularly dashing this morning." As he kind of stand him up.
Oh, yeah. Alright.
And he kind of looks around and says, "Where on earth is my guitar?"
It's probably buried in the hay somewhere.
Oh, you go ahead. I'm gonna search my guitar. This thing, my entire family could die as long as I have this guitar. I'm happy. You go. I'm searching for this. I'm sorry. And he says he kind of dives into the hay and just rummages through it.
Well, hurry up. I'll go back to camp and start waking up the others as well.
Okay.
Joanne and Lugos and then Leocas.
Okay. You see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joy, it's morning. You sleep? Let's go.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
You
you all are getting
insist.
awake. No bad. Guess we're starting the plan, I suppose.
So she'll sit up and start running her fingers, kind of brushing at her.
All
Have
right,
you
boys,
woken
you
up the
stop
others?
cuddling.
Oh.
And the next 10 over, boys, you can stop cuddling. Let's go.
As Lugos is being spooned, he's sucking on his own thumb. Alright. No, do you actually say the cuddling thing, though?
Yeah. But like,
Just
it's just
wake
like an
up and give
overpass,
him,
like a nonchalant, like, all right, stop cuddling, let's go.
I just look, just like a deadpan like stare, like, oh, already. I've only been awake 5 fucking seconds, and I'm already dealing with all your bullshit. All right. How do your eyes feel, pretty boy? You stop crying all your fucking magic juice?
Yeah, I believe that I stopped bleeding for at least one day, so I think I'm alright.
Oh, yeah. I'll give Leocas a really hard kick. It's like, wake up, you cunt.
He's in a deep slumber.
I kick him even harder.
1 point of
Oh,
damage.
that
You
was
start
just for
beating the
good
shit
measure.
out of him.
That was just for good measure. You deserve it.
Let him rest. He's been out of it all day. We need his head clear anyway when we storm this place. Just let him
I'm sort
sleep
of
for a minute.
concerned about him. He fucking went almost more apeshit than you did. Right, talking about trying to fucking chase that guy down and kill him. Chanting that
Well, then-
fucking goddess's name, whatever, Telona.
It's probably best we let him be asleep than awake at this point then. So we figure out what the hell's to do with him.
We gotta ask him some serious questions. But alright, enough wasting time inside the tent, here I come. And like, I was saying this all like while packing my stuff up. Got all my stuff packed up, head outside.
Yeah, and as you kind of go to exit the tent, you hear like a small tap. No, you don't hear a small tap. Maverick, you feel like a light tap on your shoulder.
Morning.
You turn around and it's the kind of a guy with kind of a wiry eye, spectacles, grey hair, large kind of black bags under his eyes, quite tall, very angular face. And he's like, good morning. The boss would like to see you all.
Alright. Get this show underway.
And before you go, he's like,
Just
oh,
woke up, I'm fine.
before you go, he's like, oh, I believe I have not introduced myself. I am Inya.
Inya, Maverick, pleasure.
Yes, I am Inya. I think it is very, very funny because my first name is Haas. Inya Haas. Yes.
Oh boy.
Anyway,
Well, Inya, pleasure.
yes, okay, yes. He's obviously very socially awkward. And he's like,
yeah.
well, I've
Quite.
got weapons to clean, so have a good day. And he kind of walks
I'll
off.
pat him on the shoulder.
He's like, yes, thank you. Walks off.
Thank you. He's gonna die.
Damn.
It's like, damn. Let's keep him away from the front lines. Almost like he's this hidden, like, masterful wizard. Just casts 4th level fireballs and shit.
Elijah, do you remember, I forget his name, from Cult of Wailing Fields, that really innocent guy who turned out to be like a massive barbarian?
I forget his name, but I remember I
yeah.
loved him.
Yeah,
It started with a G, right?
Something like that, but yeah. I will say
Like
this isn't becoming the same
Gunther or
thing.
something?
He isn't just gonna, he actually is something, come out and like rip his clothes off and go Super Saiyan.
Yeah,
He's just
he
awkward.
he wasn't a barbarian. He was like a monster. He turned into
Yeah.
like a beast, dude. Like he had like a limp and he was like a hunchback like freak, and all of a sudden he turns into a savage beast. We never saw him again after that. I was really sad.
Yeah, he was killed.
Oh man, I was hoping that you'd bring
History
him back
repeats
around.
itself.
Because it was like Gunther or something like
It was
that.
something like that. Anyway, he kind of walks off, and you see us, the guy you know as Caboose, and the officer you still have no idea the name of. They're kind of walking together with kind of a checklist, talking, and you see, they kind of see you come out of a tent, and they kind of raise a hand and kind of gesture you over.
Well,
I walk over.
Well, fellas, what time you call this?
What do you say? What time do we call this?
that's like calling the time of day, or
He means like, why are you so late? You should have been up an hour ago. That's kind of a meaning behind it.
Really?
well, we're
Yes, really.
Well, if we're so fucking late, why didn't you wake us up earlier, huh?
I was assuming professional adventurers like you would be able to wake themselves up.
I got plenty of sleep, alright? I'm ready. There's no need to talk about and waste time about who's late and who's not late. Let's get on with this.
Oh, no, I mean, I'm sure we can arrange a wake-up call from good old Father Caboose here, if you'd like. If you can't wake yourselves up, he'd be more than happy to come into your room and drop a bucket of water on your head every morning. No? No.
Why? I'll wake up
these are the kind of
earlier
stories I
next
remember
time
hearing
for
from
your,
Father.
just for your convenience, alright?
It's much appreciated.
Yeah. Why, I'm sure it is.
So, we have an agenda for the day. Do any of you know anything about cannons?
Does Lugos recall anything about cannons at all?
Would you have experience with them in your past, would you say? I'd say probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joy does not.
Maverick might have a bit from the City Watch.
Yeah, I've never fired one myself, but I would be the one to carry the cannonballs from storage and things like that. I had a lower ranking on City Watch. It was
You were scum.
it was only job shadowing at 17 between 17 and 18.
You're effectively an intern.
Yeah,
Yeah.
A City Watch intern.
Yeah, I was.
Boy, go and fetch me some coffee.
No, I fought too, but only once. All right. Well, I was on City Watch. I kind of maintained cannons and clean and all that. But I've never fired one myself. Would like to.
Okay, well, you see our two trusty cannons over there? And you've just these two kind of rickety, battered, rusted iron heaps.
Oh boy, they need work.
Yeah, they do. And you and Inia and Wiz, you're gonna go over and you're gonna fix them up. Okay?
Well, it wouldn't be the first time.
You have 2 hours.
Oh,
Enjoy.
right.
And he kind of scurries you off. You two,
Well then.
what job skills do you have? Apart from feeling too good to sit down on a muddy floor. And he kind of stares right at Joy.
Hey, I was down there with you. Alright, I squatted.
Me and you will have a talk later. I overheard your little late night chat. Anyway, he seems to kind of formulate things you could do, and he's like, you look like the type who knows his way around animals. You're gonna tend to our horses, and you, Joy.
All right, well, I'm gonna stop you right there. All right.
I'm sorry.
The fucking horses, mate. Look, I know animals, but I can also track people through
Was
the
I
woods.
asking a question, boy? This is a military. You go and tend to those horses like your life depends on it. Now go.
Back.
Just the most quietest of back.
This weren't what I signed up for. Fucking hell. I say as like exiting the tent to go tend to the damn horses.
You hear him say, I heard that. It's like, oh, so Joy, what skills do you have that would be useful to us here?
What exactly do you need done? I mean, as you can guess, I'm not really one for getting dirty unless...
Really? I
There's
pinned
no-
you for a cage fighter. Guess I was wrong.
Yeah. Funny.
I know. And looks through and he's like, well... Do you remember that plan your little back chatty friend over here came up with last night? Sneaking weapons into the prisoners.
Yes.
Get some hot water, get a sponge and some soap, and go clean off the kit. We'll need weapons and equipment to give to these people. Find most of it in the kit depot. I recommend taking enough water to clean yourself off.
Or
Have fun. He kind of just smiles.
thanks. Kind of glares at him and walks away.
Yeah, you kind of come to that scene and it appears this was the kit of the people who were on the receiving end of a cannonball attack. There's like, you kind of look and there's still like a hand like attached to a sword and like like an eye attached to a helmet and stuff. It's really quite grim. And you go
look
about
at disgust.
and you go about your tasks for about 2 hours is what I said. And by this time it's still only about 7 in the morning, so you've got plenty of a day left. And he essentially just makes you all kind of do general kind of errands around the camp for remaining hours, and you feel very much just like interns, really. Kind of doing stuff, tending horses, replenishing hay, sacks and satchels and equipment. And you see the various soldiers kind of gearing up. And it's probably about 3 in the afternoon where he's kind of there in front of a fire, kind of stoking it, replenishing it. And there's movement. There's very clear movement entering the camp. And you hear kind of very rapid footsteps. It sounds like 2 pairs of rapid footsteps kind of entering the mud, kind of that classic kind of sloppy mud sound. And they kind of sprint into camp, and you see it's these 2... they were in the same matching uniform as all the members of the 24th you've seen, kind of olive and kind of cardigans, the hats. And you see these 2 kind of youngish boys, both exhausted looking, kind of sprint into camp like, Sir, we have information. And he turns, it's like, whoa, calm down, boys. What have you got? And it's like, we need a meeting immediately. Please, just everyone, a meeting immediately. And he's like, whoa, calm down, Jackson. And he turns around and he just kind of goes and goes, everyone, come here. It looks like we got information.
God damn it, Jackson.
God.
I'll go see what's up.
And you see as you approach, and you see him kind of get a canteen and kind of hand it to these boys who take like an eager swig as they kind of fall to their knees and.
Jeez.
Calm down, lad. Take a breath.
And like, yeah, you see as everyone kind of gathers around. You've got about a dozen people, and these kind of people come around, and they all kind of stand around a campfire, and they're like, we have information. We were, oh god. And he's still kind of catching his breath, and everyone's like looking around each other like, what the hell is he doing? Calm the hell down. And everyone, I kind of catch breath for a few seconds, slowly get my breathing under control. And they kind of stand up, and he says, "Sir, we saw a column of white rings 20 miles east. Oh my god!" And he's obviously just kind of shocked from what he says, and he says, "They're moving in towards the town. I don't know, 20 or more. 2 dozen maybe artillery pieces. It's full platoon, sir. If they make it to a village, then," he's like, "well, impossible to root out. I don't know." And you see all the soldiers around you kind of begin to kind of murmur and talk to themselves of this news of like a full platoon of White Wings heading towards a village. And everyone kind of looks at each other and he kind of glances around, very, very nervous. And obviously, the first person to talk up is big, burly Caboose. He's like, "Well, boys, a good fight. Looks like they got us beat. No, we did well. Time to go home." And he's just like, "God damn it, Caboose. Quiet down." But he kind of looks around to everyone. He is right. We face him head on, and we're all going to be seeing Melora by morning. He kind of looks down.
Leocas?
Oh, damn it. Anyone got any bright ideas?
How long before you estimate they reach the village? At the speeds that they're moving?
They kind of all glance to boys and he's like, for 20 miles east, if the snow is in our favor, 6 hours.
We intercept them.
He's down to and he's like, you're suggesting we set an ambush.
That's exactly what I'm saying. We intercept them at least 1 hour outside of town. The noise shouldn't be able to reach them, so reinforcements will be able to arise. We'll be able to use their weapons and armor to bail out the prisoners from within.
Turns. Wiz, get me my damn map.
That's fucking suicide to set an ambush.
Quiet down, Logos.
Listen here, Lugos. If there's anyone to be able to provide ranged perception and swift strikes, it has to be you and Joy.
Yeah,
You're the first people to be able to hit them at a range before they have anything to know what to hit them.
Oh, you're right, but the thing is that you want me and Joy to ambush an entire platoon.
No, I'm saying you need to make the
many-
first strikes.
How many are there?
About 2 dozen.
Kind of turns, he's like, right, cut the damn chatter. How about we do this on a map instead?
Alright.
And you see as he kind of brings out this kind of this relatively old kind of parchment map, and puts it down. And he brings out like a small fountain pen of this horribly aged ink and begins to kind of
Oh, we get to do
deliver.
drawings.
He's like, well, we're here. And he's like, boys, which way are we approaching? East. Okay. Where? But like, we think if they continue that path, it will be the valley straight into town. He's like, right, we're approaching here. See, boys, I hate to say this, but our young friend here is right. If we can catch him in this valley, well, they're penned in. They're not gonna make it into town. They'll be going single file at best. We should be able to catch him in the evening.
Do you think we'll have an opportunity to set up the cannons in that valley where it's most narrow?
And kind of turns, in your cannons, firing angle on them is like maybe 45 degrees at best. I reckon if we get on the hill, I can fire straight down into the valley.
What about the folks to the north that are already in the town? What if they know to come? We might get pincered.
Look, because there's some like very disgruntled murmuring around you. People like calling out it's a death wish and stuff like that. And he kind of turns and he's just like, well, if they pinch us, we'll have to fight them as well. Because if we do
I
nothing,
will be outnumbered 3-1.
and if they get into the town, we'll be outnumbered 3-1, and they'll have walls.
They'll be at a home territory advantage. That means we'll just have to be that much faster.
This truly sounds like the best option. As soon as they reach town, we're screwed.
So, it's settled then. We catch him in the valley, and we do our best to kill them. Unless it kills us first. Either way, we take as many of them out as we can. We can hope the 25th continues the fight.
Any carts, any structures that we'll be able to use for some sort of a blockade?
He kind of begins to like scribble them up. He's like, well, if we take the 7 pair through a forest, head up through the foothills, and catch them about here. That's the best we can do. The 25th, last we checked, they were in these woods here, too far away for any real assistance. Luckily, we'll be in a valley. That's our first advantage. It'll be snowy, icy, misty. We can catch them by surprise.
Are there any trees overlooking the valley?
As far as we know, forest leads right up to the edge of the valley. You look straight
Chop
down.
some trees down, huh?
Aye, you got axes, we can weaken some of the trees. When the time comes, we drop the loaded trees on them.
We have
That'll save us
saws.
a couple of numbers.
Yeah, at this point, people are beginning to very strong kind of object this kind of around you. You seem to be the only ones really directly on board, as everyone is kind of claiming it's a death wish and they don't want to essentially just rush into a valley against a much larger force and be killed. And
We
you
need
see,
to keep our elevated advantage. We don't want to dive into the valley with them. We just want to make it as difficult for them as possible.
look, he kind of goes and he says, all of you, I don't expect you to come with me, and I won't think less of you if you don't join me. But you have to understand that Dowry is my home, and I'm not leaving her to burn. The rest of you, if you're joining me, we're gonna move out as soon as possible. Wiz, Inya, get those damn cannons up and moving. And the rest of you, gather your things, clean your weapons, I want you ready. And he says he turns to go kind of immediate group, and he says, you three, look, you've proven you can traverse this terrain pretty well. And I know you have no obligation to us. How would you feel about being some scouts? Picking out an ambush site, being the first ones in.
Finally, you fucking name a job that's to my description.
I elbow Lugos a little bit.
You
Oi.
get this job wrong and we're all dead. I recommend you take some spirit into it.
Don't worry, I'm the best scout around. I know the
Scout
forest
really
like the back
hard.
of my own hand.
Right, okay. Well, I want you to find a scouting spot, figure out where we're doing this, and come back here and bring us all to it.
Alright. I'll bring those souls with, and I'll start getting to work.
Right. And he goes, he kind of turns, he's like, Caboose, come here. And he's like, I'm gonna send Caboose with you. Keep you nice and safe.
Wait, with
and
me?
he's with all of you. You're all going.
Oh, no, look, I do the best when I'm alone in the forest.
No
can't
one
have
travels
no big-
alone in this regiment. You're either in a 2 or a 4 or a 6.
I'm not part of your regiment, that's the thing. I can move twice as fast. He's just gonna slow me down, and I can't be seen. I know the forest, I know how to traverse it. If I have a big lunk, walking around in heavy armor. It's not going to be good for anyone.
We travel in pairs. Safety. What the hell are you gonna
I'll
do
take
if you
Troy.
fall down a hole and break your leg?
I'll manage. I'll take Joy with me. She's probably the best bet that we got. If you really want me to travel with someone.
He kind of looks. Roll persuasion.
Yeah, sure. Give me a second. He's not a very persuasive person. That's a 4.
I was gonna give the help action on that one and see if Caboose can come with me.
Do it.
Yeah,
I
do
mean,
it.
If that's possible, I'll give the help
Yeah.
and also say that Caboose can come with me. Our strong arms will be able to prep the trees for the ambush. We'll tie him back with ropes.
It's a-
That's not that much better. You really
Yay!
take some multi-class into rogue and start getting proficiencies.
yeah.
You travel as a group, or you stay here and I'll send someone else to do it.
That's fine. Blue Ghost will figure it out.
Why?
We'll give you a 15-20 foot head start. Your eyes up there.
So are you all
Lucas
going?
will gather his
Okay.
gear and whatnot, and he's gonna head off towards the top ridge of, like, overlooking the valley.
Yeah, you see Caboose kind of dresses in some kind of piecemeal leather armor and follows along with the rest of you as you head off into the woods away from the rest of the camp. And with that, we will go for a short break, I think. Refill water, get drinks, and come back
Oh,
refreshed.
Maverick's military background just snapped into place.
Completely. It's like, oh yeah, some
Yeah.
regime order. Anyway, we'll see you all back here very soon. Stay tuned. Alright, guys.
hobble back into the game.
Okay. Welcome back from a break to Roundtable. And we are just gonna jump straight back into it. So, where we left off, you ventured deep into the woods to find an appropriate ambush site to catch what seems to be a full platoon of white wings travelling through the valley. And as you head into the woods, snow begins to fall once again, these small, brittle snowflakes that slowly come down and crackle on your nose. The cold air bats the back of your neck and kind of stings your eyes, even more so for Maverick. As you head deep in forest, Lugos, you kind of lead as you kind of push through the woods. Then just behind you there's Joy. Then at the back, travelling in a pack of 3 is no, a pack of 4 it will be, is Caboose, Maverick, Leakas, and Kishore. And you all kind of travel up, being as quiet as possible. You slowly kind of go up, traverse into the hills, and kind of stick to the edge of where you can, and keep down low, hedgerow to hedgerow, tree to tree. And it's really a desolate landscape as you climb higher and higher. What is everyone doing? It's probably about a 5-mile walk to where you need to be. Lugos, I assume you're just sprinting ahead.
Yeah, I'm ahead a little bit. I wouldn't say I'm sprinting, but
Okay, you're going as fast as you can.
ahead of the group.
Yeah.
I'm probably between Lugos and the rest of the group.
Okay.
Can't quite keep up with them.
Yeah, so you know you have a relatively small time limit to actually find an ambush site, because obviously if you take too long, then you'll be passed by. Anyway, Lugos, I assume you are kind of leading the party. Roll me a survival check.
Sure.
If I
I'll
offer
roll
some
survival
help,
check.
of,
What is
like,
the survival
pointers?
check for, might I ask?
Navigation.
Oh, for
Okay.
navigating. Okay.
Give me 1 second here. Alright. Survival. That's actually +3 to that as well.
So 20.
So a dirty 20, yeah.
Dirty 20. Yeah, so you take really quite an efficient path. It definitely isn't marked at all, so you kind of bring people kind of a few feet kind of down snowbanks and down quite kind of icy hills. And you pick across this for about 20 minutes, and you actually climb quite high, and you're walking through these woods, twigs snapping beneath your feet, and you come out onto what appears to be a kind of a incredibly iced over large kind of stream or small river. The top is completely iced over, there's kind of small flint and rocks to either side, and it kind of just drops over this huge kind of drop. It's like a small cliff, about 30 feet down to another part of the woods as you climb higher and higher. And Lugos, you begin to kind of lead the party across this kind of icy river. And as you do so, out of the corner of your eye, you see a black figure, and your head kind of twists around just in time to see this from the woods, kind of 100 feet away. You hear a boom as this lumbering beast slowly emerges, and it's really quite a hectic looking thing. It's built massively, like a bear, but it has small feathers, small brown feathers covering its entire body. Where a bear head may be, it's a vicious looking owl head with burning eyes and a sharp beak. And it kind of goes out, and as Lugos, you kind of go out onto ice, you see its head just go snap around and kind of tilt as it sees you. And there's
I
a moment
drop
of
to the
pure kind of
floor.
silence. You're gonna do what, sir?
I want to drop to the floor
You're just gonna
and like,
go prone.
Into the snow.
yeah.
There's no snow near. He's kind of heading out over the kind of icy river. He's probably about 10 feet away from nearest snow. But you're just gonna go prone.
Yes.
Okay. For the rest of you, obviously you're a few feet behind. Joy, you're kind of a few feet behind him when you see him kind of just drop to the floor as you're just kind of exiting the woods. Would you continue on, or
No.
you're just gonna no more?
No. She's gonna kind of, yeah. stop, try and hide herself a little bit.
Everybody get down.
And see what
There's a fucking owl bear ahead of us. Everyone drop.
I drop.
Caboose is next to me. He's like, "What the hell is an owl bear?"
Get on the fucking floor, idiot.
Beast, get down.
Yeah, okay. And he kind of drops with a very loud thud. That's his like massive frame. That's it. Like yeah, it's like ooh, and he that's like lands on partly on like an icy rock, and you hear him go, fuck. The
I want
bear.
to watch the owl bear to see what it does.
The bear kind of just goes onto the river. You see, it kind of has its large paws, and it just kind of goes up like the surface of a river, looking like it's trying to scratch through to get some fish. It raises its head and just goes. Yeah, raises its head and just goes. Takes one glance over at Lugos, and it lumbers back across the river to the woods. So it has crossed from the opposing sides to now on your side, about 100 feet up, back into the woods. It seems to be calm. It's the same distance, but just kind of you're no longer visible to it. You reckon you're in the clear?
Well, damn.
Alright, everyone up, real slow like. No sudden movements. It may be gone right now, but it's called hearing like a fucking hawk.
Everyone seems relatively quiet. Even Caboose is kind of he's looking terrified actually.
Alright, we'll keep my eyes peeled for tracks and whatnot. Everyone back up, let's keep it moving.
Okay,
We don't got much time.
you head onwards
So
further
Grayson-
towards.
Lugos, scout a little further ahead. I'll send my raven with you.
Oh, you sure? And Lugos will quickly move away from the group.
Yeah. Okay. In kind of the away from the
Real quick,
vanguard
I
at the front.
wanna-
No, after you.
Sorry, I want to look for the owlbear tracks.
Okay. Yeah. Roll Yeah. Make a check for me.
Let me see here. While I track the creature, I can tell, like, all sorts of stuff about them too.
Okay.
Survival, you said?
It would be survival with advantage because it's snow.
Okay. Alright, that's 16.
16.
That's also
16.
16.
Yeah. How much extra do you know because of your background?
So this is what I know specifically. Let me see here. Let me bring it up.
Okay.
One second here.
Test your
Now, while trying
improvisation
other
skills.
creatures, I also learned their exact number and how long ago they passed through the area. Yeah,
Okay.
I want to know if there's any other owl bears around the area.
Exact
other
number
than that
seems to be 1, and time of passed through the area about a minute ago. You reckon it's a fairly small owl bear, not too big. Its paw prints are relatively small and don't imprint in the snow that much. It's doesn't seem to be a threat anymore once it's left. And its tracks
Alright,
get
cool.
older and older as you progress through. Now, at the
Alright,
back,
cool.
as opposed to the vanguard in the front, Maverick, as you're kind of walking along from like branch to branch, kind of avoiding, and the snow kind of bats your face, and you feel your nose to start to go kind of slightly numb. You see, Caboose kind of come next to you, and he's like, so, I don't think we've been introduced too formally.
No, has been hardly much time for formalities.
No. Well,
You were
either
called
way,
Caboose, was it?
yeah, I'm Caboose, and it seems like Grace has taken a real liking to you.
Is that way? I don't think we actually exchanged names to call them what, Grease?
Yeah, he's a Grace Admiral, as we call him.
Grease Admiral.
It's his hair.
sure.
You seen it?
Yes, Slickback.
Yeah.
How long have you been with him?
A month.
A month, huh?
Yeah, I was his replacement second officer. After the last one, fell in a ditch while scouting and died.
Tell me more of this 24th. I mean, there's obviously probably other branches. But who all do you serve entirely under? Tell me more about that.
Well, and you see as he kind of puts his hand kind of in front of his eyes to stop the snow in his face. I'm not too one for words. Anything you want to know?
So, like a supreme general, someone that oversees all the branches.
Well, we work for a local militia. We're split into two squads, Abel and Baker. Technically, the 24th is 200 men, split into 4 platoons of 50. We're Pearl Bow platoon. There's only a dozen of us left. We have the sister regiment of 25th up north. That's about it.
You know, guessing they're dealing with the worst of it in the walls, aren't they?
Yeah, 25th. We reckon they've got about 2 dozen men left, but they're pinned down hard. Oh, I guess that's their problem, not ours.
Well, our hope is to eliminate this entire problem entirely, no matter whose it is.
See, I gotta ask, what's the problem with that friend of yours, the ginger one who's real sassy?
Yeah, he's just abrasive. He's not the charismatic type.
Well, as you can see, average camp we all lose charm, charisma. See, he's just kind of laughing to himself under his breath.
Okay. Yeah, I get that. No, he's a man of the wilds, not a man of military. So I can see why there'd be a clash.
Yeah, I think we may have gotten off on the wrong foot slightly.
Well, we'll get back on the right foot when this job lands out right.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we can make amends at some point. Isn't like we could be dead by the morning or anything. Yeah.
Well, offer him a drink of ale, he'll warm up to you.
Yeah. Hey, old man. Oh, I remember that. Okay, he kind of turns and he's like, oh, never thought we'd end up in this situation. At this point, he's just literally just making small talk. He's obviously quite kind of scared after that Alba. He's talking out of nervousness.
Yeah, I'll keep him.
Yeah.
I'll try to keep him chill. But at least we got a right plan ahead of us. We know where they're going. They won't be able to know where we hid them from. A lot of wars are won that way, even in small numbers.
Yeah, I trust Grease. I'm sure his plan will be good. We'll just hope for the best. Luck will be on our side. If we pray. Well, what would we pray to win a war?
Prayer wouldn't hurt, I guess.
Lugos, what's your passive perception?
Give me a second here. I might not even know.
Wait, I think I can get it pretty quick. I think it's 13, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. As you're kind of leading the party through, you come to a kind of going in the woods, and you...
We're in the woods.
Sorry? Ooh, I'd say you can knock on your extra +3 onto it.
Alright, so
But,
16.
You're kind of skirting, you're relatively close to the valley at this point. I don't know if you can still see. You're about there. The stream camera has just marked it on. But,
Yeah.
you're kind of heading through these kind of large moor areas, large hills sloping, really quite beautiful. And the snow has kind of piled on these beautiful banks of these hills. And you're heading along, and as you do, you see, kind of heading along, and you quickly you're kind of coming around the hill, and you quickly kind of turn onto, like, the other side of the hill. And two figures in chainmail are stood talking, looking down into the valley, like, "Ah, yeah, if we're gonna attack anywhere, it's gonna be from here. Yeah, so if we set up one here, one there, we can get a nice good outpost look on down the valley." Let's go
What do
down
they
and
look
report back to
like?
boss. They're both in chainmail, got the White Wings emblem on, in relatively kind of lighter gear, large kind of snow boots, hats, halberds kind of slung on their back. So, right,
Now, since I
let's head back
scouted
to
so
boss.
far ahead. Alright.
They're about 20
Since
feet
I
in front of you.
scouted so far ahead, they're about 20 feet.
Yeah.
Are they
Push 'em.
turning my way or are they turning away from me?
They're looking away from you, kind of down into the valley.
Imagine if we push him. Just
It's-
push him
I
into the
don't want
valley.
to push them.
It's like a 60-degree slope. It's not like fatal, but like it's like a 60-degree
Oh damn,
relative
that's not
steep.
fatal. Alright.
We'll have to.
It's the kind of thing you could like sprint down, but not sprint ups. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, if anyone
I do
can
kind of want
their
to push them.
Yeah. Well,
How far
we can push them
behind is the
after.
rest of the group?
Joy, you're about 30 feet behind Lugos.
Okay.
Rest of you are about 30 feet behind them.
I think Lugos and Joy should take some assassination attempts here.
You really think so?
Yeah.
Damn.
Do we see any indication of the rest of their party?
I want to look for a bunch of footprints in the snow leading up to this point, yeah.
Roll survival. Again, with word advantage because snow.
Oh, well, that's a 10. That's
Okay,
a
yeah.
20.
You look, it appears to be just them in this area. They appear to be some kind of forward scouts in the same way you are. Probably running about 7 or 8 miles in front of the rest of their platoon.
I can move stealthily at a normal pace if I'm by myself in the woods. So if I really wanted to, I could try to like get a running start and shove one of them off into the canyon. But the thing is that I'm kind of curious about their plans as well.
I will say, have you told anyone kind of behind you of these people?
No, I haven't told
Okay.
anybody yet.
You see them,
I
they
want
just
to
kind
wave
of
my arms,
they
try to
kind of
signal to them.
yeah. I see doing that. You see they kind of reach out into a pouch and they bring out some kind of seems to be like a large cigar, put it in their mouth and light it together and kind of pass it to each other, just smoking. Just kind of wave your arms to the rest of the party. Joy, you could definitely see this. The rest of you, probably not.
I think Lugos.
Or I'm like
might have
waving
spotted
both of my
something.
arms to like make an X.
Yeah, so Joy will indicate to the rest of the group to kind of slow down.
Alright.
Can I catch up to Lugos without being noticed?
Roll stealth. You can, yeah. You can probably easily pick your way through next to Lugos to get behind these guys.
Awesome. Lugos, what do you want to do here?
It's kind of tricky, right? Because one, on the off chance we could try to shove him into the fucking slope below, right? Or we could let them report back to their boss. We could try to trail them back there. I'm not really sure. 2 people don't make that much big of a difference, really.
No.
But they're
If
ripe for the
we-
picking.
Yeah, if we kill him here, the rest of their group's not gonna know about this area.
Aye.
Of course, they will have an idea that something happened to them and be more on their guard.
Not unless we get them removed real quick like.
There's still a chance if they don't have their scouts return.
Oh, yeah.
But it would be more of an ambush if they returned. And once they came back, we were here.
The thing is, the ambush is a fucking death wish. I think Grease is what they call him, right? He's an idiot.
Yes. I don't seem to like him myself either. Oh, shall we kill them then?
So nonchalantly, like, yeah, shall we kill him?
Should we end these people? Oh yeah, sure.
I mean, I'm not one for strategies or anything, so really, whatever your call is, I'm game.
Alright, let's do it. I have an idea afterwards anyways. And what Lugos is gonna do, he's gonna cast a Zephyr Strike on himself, so he'll be able to move like 60 feet.
Jesus.
To get like a huge running start to get like really fast up to them.
Oh no. Okay.
And he'll cast Zephyr Strike, he's gonna run up to them really fast, and he's gonna like shove the closest one like off the edge.
Okay. Roll me a strength check with advantage. This will be a contest.
Alright. They're kind of off guard, huh? Okay, that's 11. 3.
Oh boy, 11.
Okay. You're rushing forward and pushing them off. Right?
Yes, if I
Okay.
can.
You cast a Zephyr Strike on yourself. You kind of extend your hand down to kind of I assume kind of your thigh. This magical kind of energy kind of imbues itself into you. And with your newfound speed, you kind of essentially just a blur. You just rush through the woods and just what is it like? What, a spear, or how are you doing this?
I don't want to spear them because then I would go down with them. I'm just gonna like try to rush. I'm gonna try to get him really low. Like as I run, like I get really low to the ground, and I want to like jump and do this like really hard like shoulder bash into him.
Hmm. Okay. As you approach, the person begins to move, and what they do is have a stretch where like you kind of extend your leg out and kind of just in front of you, and you kind of bend down and yeah, you kind of extend your leg out in front of you, and you kind of lean down and touch your toes, and the other one kind of bends behind you. He kind of begins to do that as you rush towards him, and you just hit him right in the back. You hear him kind of yelp for a second, and what happens is he as he's bending down to touch his toe, the kind of sudden force in his back, it forces his knee to kind of because his leg is out straight, it kind of snaps kind of outwards, kind of over itself, like making his foot come into contact with his hip. And you hear like a as he just goes falling into this valley, like crouch, and his friend just sounds like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
Broke his fucking leg.
Joy, I'll give you the option to do something as this happens. Like as soon as this moves forward.
Am I able to sneak attack on the other guy?
Yeah, as soon as he just kind of turns and looks at Lugos, you can just come in and puncture him. Well, that's what happens when you critically fail a strength contest.
Oh, oops.
He critically failed.
Critically
God.
failed.
Sorry. Oh.
You will get an advantage to hit, I will say.
Oh, well, good thing I put it up there twice then. There we go.
Definite hit, yeah. Yeah. How do you want to dispatch of this guy?
Ooh, I would like to cut off his head.
With a rapier, that's impressive.
More like shove a big hole in his neck.
Right
Common misconceptions.
Yeah.
Rapiers are actually sharp
Hmm.
on their blade.
Oh yeah, no. Right through his throat and kind of slice it off to the side. So it kind of just hangs off halfway.
Okay. So as he turns on, he's like, "What?" Kind of looks out, and his blade just cuts through his neck like butter, and he kind of looks down and sees this rapier, and then all of a sudden just slides to the side, and he's like, As this blood kind of fills his mouth, and he slowly goes completely limp. And you look down into a valley, probably about 60 feet below you. This guy has kind of rolled down the entire hill with a broken leg. His leg is kind of just crumpled and mangled to one side, and he's slowly kind of crawling across the snow, kind of a trail of blood behind him. He's still alive, just kind of crawling across the snow, with a trail of blood behind him.
I wanted him to be alive.
You better go finish him.
Right, I need to ask him a few questions first.
Sure.
Let's see, is there a clear back up from the valley if I were to go down there?
No, you just have to try and athletics it back up the snowbank.
Oh, athletics or acrobatics?
I'd let you try both.
Okay, I'm gonna, like, does it look like shallow enough to slide down?
Yeah, you can slide down
May
it. But...
Maverick kind of intervene here.
yeah.
I want to go up to Lugos, especially if we're seeing this all go down.
Oh, sure.
Jeez, that was scary as hell, man. Look, you need to get that guy, right?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to get him.
Stay. I'll bring him.
No,
get him.
why? Don't kill him, alright? Bring
I
him
won't
back
kill
up
him,
here.
but I can bring him back up here. All right, hold on to my extra weight.
As you're
Drop
having
off my backpack and shield.
As you're having this conversation, you see kind of Caboose come up next to you, and he's like, "Why have you left a goddamn white wing alive?" And you see he takes a javelin from his back and tries to kind of throw it down.
Oh, wait.
He's like,
I want to, like, stop him.
We
I
need to
wanna
get
grab the
information
javelin.
out of him.
Like, what the fuck are you doing? Let me kill this goddamn.
Shut up,
All right,
mate.
fine.
We're gonna
We'll let you
interrogate
kill him after we get information.
Oh yeah, if you want to fucking finish him off, we'll let you get the last strike. But
Shut
let's
up, you
just ask
damn
questions.
leprechaun, or you go down the hill next.
How
He
about push him away
he kind of
from
wrestles
the
his
hill?
javelin back.
I
Wait, what?
push
Be
him.
patient.
Yeah,
Push him away
patient.
from the hill.
yeah, he kind of does the classic thing where he does like a two-handed shove kind of into your chest, like all kind of big tough guys do.
Be patient, Caboose.
contest
Come
him?
on.
You can strength contest him.
Yeah.
To do what?
To like push him like to the ground.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
That's 7, you know?
What does he get? He gets this. He gets a 17.
Oh boy.
You essentially try and wrestle him into the ground, and he just wrestles around, and he kind of turns you around and kind of gets you on your knee. You see his kind of huge forearm kind of come around and loop under your neck, and you feel him kind of get you into a very powerful headlock. And he kind of gets down, he's like, "Yeah, that's what you get, you damn leprechaun." And he kind of begins to kind of scratch the top of your head in like the classic way.
Like a noogie.
Yeah, and he kind of does that, and he kind of throws you to the ground, kind of face first. He's like, "Let me kill the damn rat bastard."
After we
Can we
talk
get
to him.
information
5
from her?
minutes.
After we talk to him, mate.
5 minutes, Caboose.
You
Just
can
5
kill
minutes.
him. We need information first. We need to see what we're getting ourselves into.
"You're all damn soft." And you see he gets his javelin, just throws it into the ground, and storms off into the woods.
Fucking hell. What's going into him? 10 minutes ago, he was scared
Jeez.
of a bear. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna go down. Okay, Lugos, take care of my extra weight.
I take his extra weight, his shield, and his backpack.
Shift the sword from my side, put the leather strap over my back, so now the sword's on my back, and I'm gonna slide down the cliff face.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of snow kind of builds up kind of around you as you go down. You're like a human toboggan of sorts, creating like a snow drift around you. And you kind of slide down and kind of come up kind of about 10 feet away as this guy's kind of crawling around you. Hear him like, kind of crawling away.
Sir, you need assistance.
Who the fuck are you?
Field medic, what's the problem?
I don't see no cross. Who are you?
I will put out a light cantrip in my hand. See? Healing magic. What do you got?
You see he kind of goes onto his back, he pulls out his sword and he's like, "Get the fuck away from me!"
God, fuck's sake. I'm gonna just put your weapon down, and I'll extend my other hand, I'll point it toward him. I'll actually use one of my d6 of healing light as part of the persuasion for him to like calm down and talk to me.
Okay, so he gets a d6 of health back. Roll the d6 for me. Yeah, you look
That's
back,
all he deserves.
and his leg kind of slightly shifts back into place, but it kind of does something like with a painful crunch, and he's like, no!
That's all gonna hurt.
Hoover!
Calm down. You're losing a lot of blood. Who are you with? What happened? I just see a man start tumbling down the cliffside with a broken leg.
You see, he kind of just stares kind of down at his leg and like just down at the snow, kind of very defiant, kind of I'm not even gonna grace you with a look kind of tactic.
Well, we're gonna have to get some excess weight off here. Is he wearing like chain?
He's wearing chainmail, yeah.
I want to go to unbuckle his extra armor.
As you take a step closer, he like gestures his sword out again. He's like, oh, you take a step closer and I'm gonna cut you.
Oh, this cunt is too soft. I'm going down there. We need to do a good cop, bad cop. Or a good guard, bad
Just,
guard, I would call it.
Alright.
I'm gonna tie
if
a
he's
little
gonna keep
bit of
resisting, I'm
rope
gonna just
to a
have to knock
tree.
him unconscious. Don't make me do this. Well, would you constitute force damage as to knock him unconscious?
I say you can choose any damage you wish to be non-lethal.
I'll Eldritch Blast him.
Okay. It's a guaranteed hit, so yeah.
Alright.
Damage as well.
1d.
Yeah, roll damage for me, but it'll be an automatic critical.
Alright, well, agonizing. I got my first Eldritch Invocation.
Reminds you what agonizing does?
That's the
It
way
adds
to do it.
charisma modifiers to your
Alright.
damage.
No, nice.
Agonizing blast is good.
So you see, as once again you step closer, and he's like, "I'm warning you, I'm gonna cut." As his Eldritch Blast flies across snow, hits him right in the forehead. This kind of purple energy goes throughout his head, and he just falls unconscious on the snow.
I try being good cop here. Alright, I wanna get him out of his extra weight.
Yeah, you kind of take his
Rip the chain
chainmail
shirt
off, and
of him.
you see he's looking very
in the bag.
cold. But
Alright. Now that my weight's down and his weight's down, I'm gonna fly us back up.
okay, fly.
Activate my Radiant Soul, and I can fly 30 feet per turn, but encumbered probably 15 feet, but lasts for a minute.
Okay.
So just fly and encumbered dash.
Yeah, these wings just emerge from your back, and you begin to kind of elegantly fly up this valley, look like an angel of death, kind of just taking this man and bringing him up to the heavens. As you fly kind of back onto the ridge of the valley, you see Caboose in the trees stood with Kishore, and you see him just like wide-eyed as you descend down with wings from your back, and this kind of golden glow in your eyes.
He wasn't very cooperative at the bottom of the hill, so I had to knock him out. Well, have fun with him. I'll just plop him into the snow and stop concentrating on my wings.
You see as Caboose kind of stares around the party to see like who's going to act first, because obviously you're all in like a circle around him, kind of making eye contact, and
Because we'll make him cooperative. You can be damn sure of that. I'm sure our friend Caboose here would like to have a great deal of fun with him.
oh, I'm going to make him so cooperative. And you see as he just rushes forward, he kind of just gets like all on top of him and just starts beating his face. Is anyone going to object to that?
Try not to kill him already. Yeah, I'll object to that.
Open-handed, not closed fists.
Yeah, you see as he goes, like, he just puts his leg over him and like, he grabs him by like, the scruff of his neck and just woof. Woof, you see like a tooth will go flying, blood and mucus go flying out of his nose, and you hear him just
I'm
just
gonna
breath
stop
saying,
him. I'm gonna
"You
stop him."
fucking killer!" And just beat him to death.
Stop it. We need to get questions out of him still. He's only unconscious, jeez.
Yeah, and as you kind
You're
of pull him
gonna
away,
kill him.
he gets in like one last kick in his ribs and has a crunch. Because Caboose is a big guy. And this guy's
Yeah,
face
he
is now
sounds really big.
mangled.
I'm gonna
I'm
go
gonna
put my
see if
back
the
up
guy's
against
still
the tree and
breathing
sit.
and alive.
There's some raspy, faint breaths coming out. He is not doing good. For reference, Caboose is probably about 6'4" and built like John Bernthal or something like that, so big guy. Big fists.
John Bernthal, that's a really good analogy. Now I imagine him as only John Bernthal.
I mean, it somewhat fits with a character, like angry, 5T.
It does.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Punisher? He's so good in The
Yeah,
Punisher.
yeah. I will admit,
Yeah.
Caboose was somewhat based.
Nice. All right. I'm like, at least wait till we're done questioning him to start beating him. All right? Jeez. Maverick, can you fucking fix him up a little bit?
Yeah, but I'm gonna need to start taking a bit of a short rest. I don't want my resources to run dry.
Right.
I
With
can
your
do it as
twirly
I come out of
whirly-
the shadows.
4 more points of healing.
Nice. Jeez, Caboose, you really fucking did a number on him.
Yeah, he deserves it. I'm sure you've all seen what these people can do. You think they deserve a morsel of innocence? Well, I see it, the sooner their brains are swept over the dirt, the better.
Right.
If I could, I'd bash every one of their fucking brains out. You see as he goes and kind of sits down against a tree.
I want to start a short rest. Let them take care of this.
Yeah, you see as Caboose kind of just sits against this tree, kind of moping. He has his, like, he's got sat with his kind of wrists resting on his knees with, like, these kind of massively swollen and, like, bloody knuckles. What's everyone doing?
Oh, it looks like Aggi's got to refresh his Discord.
Hello, yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to hear you guys at all. If he's looking okay, then I'd like to bring him back to, and I would like to, like, put some snow on his face to try to wake him up if I can.
Yeah, sure. You kind of put the snow on his face, and it takes a few seconds, but you just end pile a few more, and all of a sudden you just hear like a, and he begins to like cough up blood.
I'll clear the snow from his face.
Kind of looks up and
Alright.
he looks over at his friend, just like almost decapitated on the floor. And he's like, "What the fuck did you do?
Good morning, sleepyhead. Did you sleep well?
Oh, I'm gonna gut you."
Oh. Hold, stop it right about there. Caboose, come here.
You see, this Caboose kind of stands up and begins to branch. He's like, "No, you keep him away."
I can keep him away, but you have to cooperate with me, alright? Unless you want me to hand over control to Caboose. I mean, go for it, Caboose, if you like.
Kind of looks over and he's just kind of, but you see, like physically bites his lip.
Now, you see, he's a bad guy. He likes hurting people like you. Because you're a bad guy, you're kind of a cunt. And all your friends are kind of cunts. So, to become not such a cunt, you're gonna answer some information for us. Fair?
I can answer one thing for you.
Oh, great. This is gonna be some kind of witty quip. You're gonna say some stupid bullshit. Alright, go on, say it.
No, it's just for truth. He kind of lets out a smile and he kind of spits in the snow to one side like this pure red spit. In 2 hours' time, my entire legion's gonna come through this valley. They're gonna slaughter you and your little friends, and they're gonna leave you in the dust.
Your entire legion. Aren't you part of the legion?
And
You're
it
talking
seems,
like you're in control.
and it seems to me, you're taking a bit too long on whatever you're doing here. We know where your camp is. You'll be hard pressed to run back, and run back here. Shame. Looks like we'll just waltz on through
it is
straight to
sure
town.
shame. I step away from him and, like, pat Caboose on, like, his chest.
Yeah.
Don't kill him yet.
And you see us kind of walk out from this guy, and he's like, "You're all cowards. You're all weak. You'll know true rulers when it comes over you. The vassals of the White Wings, the greatest power reckon." And he, like, you see his Caboose kind of comes over him and just, like, smashes him across the face. And he's like, "Oh, for once in your life, will you just be quiet?" Poof. He just, again, comes to be beating him. You hear kind of actually laughs from a guy being beaten, like, through. You hear him kind of praying under his breath. Caboose kind of gives him one last kick, and he, like, begins to, like, crawl away on his front. And Caboose kind of
all right.
glances his head over.
Just here. We don't want to kill you, alright? You want to go back to your merry little legion where you go around hurting innocent folk. Aye, we all do, right? Just answer a question for me if you would. Please, humor me. I don't want to be your enemy, right? I could be a good friend to you. What are your plans here? How many people are in your army?
How many? We have got 6 dozen and counting. And
Alright.
we'll have some backup soon when the Oblivion Choir arrives.
I want to insight check him.
Go ahead.
If we're in the wood, that's a 10.
Hard to read.
Damn. Those are the most crucial parts where I feel my
You
insight check.
will also know what the Oblivion Choir is. That's like quite a well-known thing. But like a group of
What is the Oblivion Choir?
they're one of the largest kind of war bands around. They're a group of elven bandits. They have like a Spartan-like discipline about them. They rely on like stealth and poisoned weaponry. They wear terrifying armor, and they've probably got about 200 people. But last you heard, they were actually engaged in like a full-scale guerrilla war with actually the actual Imperial army itself. So you're not too sure if you're telling the truth, because you imagine they'd be preoccupied with actually the high-quality soldiers. But you never know.
He might have his doubts about the Oblivion Choir. Like they would waste their time all the way out here on a little pathetic town. What do you want with the town, anyways?
We get the town, and it becomes our new home. We can expand outwards, take what we want, move out to Colfort, south to Oar's Rest. Bit by bit, we'll take our land, and grow what we need. 'Cause you don't seem to understand. The White Wings is, well, it's the strongest group you can encounter. It will outlive any of you. And
So sort of military conquest.
And as he says this, you see Caboose kind of twitch, and he says, "Yeah, right." And he literally just brings a javelin from his back, and I'll give you like a split-second chance to. You're gonna object? Roll persuasion. Yeah.
We're not done with him yet. Fucking hell.
0. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So you kind of shout out a split second too late as he brings this javelin and.
Can I like grab his javelin?
Roll
do it,
a
do
dexterity check for me.
All right. Oh my.
The dice
Never
gods.
Everyone reaching out at the same time, slow motion.
No. So you try this, but you kind of reach out, but you're kind of a few feet too far, and you see as he just takes a javelin, he just cracks it straight through his ribs, straight into his heart, buries it actually probably about a foot into the ground underneath him, twists it and says, "Yeah, fuck you." Kind of just sprints it back out and literally just kicks his corpse down the valley.
Can I like turn back around and just give him a straight haymaker to the face?
Oh, you can do, yes.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, roll damage for me.
I must find it. Oh wait, that's a hit. Oops.
That's a hit, yeah. That free damage. Yeah, he kind of catches his jaw. It kind of, you see a bit of spit come out his mouth, and he just kind of whips his head around, and you see he's going to try and grapple you. Make me a strength contest, please.
Okay. Please don't fail me. Oh my god.
Okay, and unfortunately he got on that 20. So you kind of punch him around the face, and he literally just bear hugs you and kind of throws you to the floor, like onto your front, like gets onto your back and kind of holds your face in the snow, and just says, "Calm down, boy. Stay there, you damn mutt." And kind of just slaps you on the back of the head and stands up and is like, "Yeah, stay there." Gets up and kind of spits on the floor and is like, "Control your damn friends." And goes to stand up Kishore.
Oh, fucking ironic that he says something like that. We weren't done questioning him, you fucking idiot. You are an oaf, you know that?
Does my smite work with like an unarmed strike?
It does not.
No, it isn't.
Oh.
He-
What if I
yeah.
use
a big
end of my
fucking crescent.
longsword? Would
Can
that
all of
work
you
out?
just shut the fuck up, all of you! You bunch of fucking children! Christ, he wasn't gonna be much use to us fucking alive anyway. Doesn't matter if there's fucking 2 dozen or 6 dozen. We have a plan, we have a job, we have a strategy, and we have the advantage. We're not gonna throw this away right now. Get your shit together.
Trying to ambush 6 dozen people is a fucking certified death sentence.
What if he's just full of shit?
He may really, he very well may have been. But you really need to calm your fucking anger, man. You need to calm your anger, mate.
I'm watching
alright?
a bunch of 3 fucking grown-ass men throw each other around like children.
I'm not throwing no one around, alright? It's him and him. They're fucking fighting each other. I'm trying to be the voice of reason, but no one ever fucking listens to me whenever I try.
As you're saying, you see his caboose has kind of gone to the side, and he literally just does a full kind of haymaker straight to a tree, and like the snow kind of over branches kind of falls off onto him. And he just kind of swears at the top of his lungs into the valley, kind of echoes.
Whatever in the 9 hells he was talking about, we don't have enough time to reach back to camp and reconvene with anyone, if he even is relatively telling the truth.
Well, what the fuck do we do now? We got a corpse lying down at the bottom of the fucking valley, in clear view, in plain view of any army that comes marching through.
Caboose
We got
just
limited men.
begins to kind of speed walk back into the woods, like the way you came. He doesn't even say anything. He just walks
Wait,
off.
where do you think you're going, mate?
As Lugos says, we have just a clear body. I'm gonna straight up take out a tinderbox and just light the body.
Okay, so you're gonna go down and just.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like
If you're
all the
gonna
way
go down
down
there,
at
you
the
might
bottom.
as well break the ice and shove it into the river.
Wait. Is there a river at the bottom of this?
There's like a small stream next to the path. There's a pond as well that seems to be frozen over.
That passes through the valley?
The pond would be about here-ish. It's just to the side of the road. It's quite small, probably about 6 feet across.
Hmm. Not big enough.
Just move the bodies off into the forest where they won't be found, and we'll plant our ambush here. I don't think our plan needs to change at all. There isn't enough time.
And what if it is 6 dozen? Still ambush? Because if it's 6 dozen, don't count on me in jumping in.
No,
Oh,
Stay
if it's
hidden
6
until we
dozen,
count the numbers. They still don't know we're
But
up here.
what if
We
it's a
stay hidden and
diversion,
count the
right?
numbers.
What if they send in like 4 people, and then 6,000 people come, or whatever the fuck it is, 6 dozen people come marching out 5 minutes later, when we're already knee-deep in shit and fucking snow, fighting these cunts? Then what? Then we're absolutely royally fucked.
We start chopping trees. We have to cut off the path.
Oh, that's
We
what I
have to
wanted
cut
to
off
do
the
from
path.
beginning.
Well, somebody go catch fucking the other guy. He just ran off into the forest.
I can catch up to him. I'll get him. I'll go off to find the caboose.
Yeah, I assume you're still obviously you're super speedy, so you just kind of sprint through the woods, and you quickly see him kind of doing quite an angry walk. Kind of he has kind of snow, and he's kind of holding the snow to his hands to kind of take the swelling down as he walks across. And if you can catch up to him, he just turns to you, and he kind of just stares at you, and then kind of looks back to where he's walking, and just continues walking.
Oi, where do you think you're going?
Back to the damn camp. Someone has to let them know where we're ambushing and when we're ambushing.
If we're gonna have anyone go back to the camp, it should be me, alright? You're
Oh.
fucking lumbering through the snow like a goddamn fool. Alright, look at me. Alright, look at me, and I like zoom past him. Like, I'm not slowed down as long as we're in the forest. And I'm just like using the trees and like the roots of the trees and shit and like rocks to my advantage. I'm as nimble as can be where I am. Stay with the group. I'll go and get the fucking admiral. We're gonna need someone like you. I know that we had a little bit of a confrontation back there, but obviously you're the strongest fecker we got. And if we have any chance of surviving this, we're gonna need you. We can't have you taking an hour to lumber through the fucking knee-high snow all the way through the forest back to the camp.
Roll persuasion.
Sure.
With advantage,
This is
because
where everything goes to shit.
with advantage, because
With
it was quite
advantage.
good here. But he's pretty
Alright.
blinded by anger at this point.
Okay, well,
Roll it again.
my god, bro.
Kind of just looks at you and he's like,
Please listen to reason. We got off on the wrong foot.
seems to me we've been on the wrong foot every single time we spoke.
It's because the situation is quite dire for everyone involved, alright? I certainly didn't think I was going to be getting this involved in such a fucking shit show when I came here to help. I thought it was going to be, hey, we meet up with you, we go storm the tower, or whatever, the town, and we rescue everyone. But I'm still dedicated to helping you and your mates. Because I don't abandon people that are in need.
You see us, he kind of just stares at you and he kind of does the aggressive kind of Harrison Ford like finger point thing. He's like, if you're going so to me, you better get the hell back there quick and get our boys here safe. Okay?
And like, without even a second thought, I start zooming.
Yeah, and
And like, the way Lugos moves through the forest like really fast is he'll use like the branches of the trees to like swing on them and shit, to like swing to the other branches, and he'll like jump off like boulders and
Yeah.
and like
Naruto shit.
big roots and shit.
yeah, and
Is he going? Is Lugo shifting, going faster?
Oh.
Fuck, man, that would give me like, if I cast Zephyr Strike and did that, that'd give me 70 feet of movement per turn.
Damn.
Yeah, it would increase your speed by like 1.75, I think, or something like that. Or 2 point.
It would give me 10 extra. It would give me 10 extra speed. Out of view of Caboose, I will use my shifted ability.
Okay.
To like move through the forest faster.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
So as you travel, your legs begin to like fur on the back of your neck, like sprouts up. You see your teeth come out of these kind of dagger-like fangs, as you begin to kind of lumber through the forest. Instead of just like elegantly hopping from like tree stump to tree stump, instead of you're like bounding like a wolf.
Yeah.
Oh, Godspeed.
I'll like kick off of trees and shit.
Yeah, essentially. And as you kind of, as just before you shift, you kind of hear like Caboose shout back something. As you like zoom off, he's like, "Can't blame me if me and your friend kill each other." And he heads back towards the amber site.
Just let him.
Just let them kill each other. Yeah. I feel like I got my money on Leocas.
I want to reach down and grab Leocas up by the arm and just pull him up.
Is that guy back?
No, Caboose isn't back.
We'll be back in about 30 seconds.
He'll be back in like a minute, but I want to get him out of the snow.
I guess I'll look at Maverick. I'll look him straight in the eyes and say, if he touches me again, I'll send him straight to Tolna's domain.
There you go, spouting that bullshit again. No one's being sent to any domain.
That bumbling oaf of a man.
We got
Looks more like an ogre.
Take your frustration out on the saw. I handle one of the woods, the other handle the wood saw. We got trees to tie back with ropes. We have
You're a warlock. Use your Eldritch Blast.
and risk like.
They're gonna hear the trees falling, are they not? What's the point?
No, we silently cut them, hold the trees up by ropes, cut the ropes, letting a bunch of trees fall, splitting whatever party they'd have in half.
As you're kind of finishing this, you hear like the snow crunching and a very distinct kind of lumbering sound as you look as a large figure of Caboose re-enters kind of the ambush area.
Welcome back, you ogre.
Oh, there's my favorite tough guy. How are you feeling? Big and strong, I hope.
How's your face feeling? I'm gonna give you another one.
How's your face feeling? Numb from the snow that I put you in?
Nah.
Oh, I'll make sure I'll break your nose
Considering-
again this time. Wanna
Oh.
go?
Every time my nose is broken, just makes me more handsome.
Oh, I don't want to call you handsome.
Your mother will be calling me handsome.
Yeah, it's all wonderful. Oh, absolutely wonderful. But we have trees to tie back.
Angel boy, pass me a saw.
Yeah. I'm gonna give him a saw.
And you see as he just goes ham on the trees, just kind of grunting under his breath, just like... He seems to go feral almost.
Let's me and Leo Cos will go 30 feet away from him and cut different trees.
A hobgoblin looks better than you.
And he starts to saw faster.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for the approaching army.
Yeah, so
Okay, you
Joy,
send
you're
your
kind of
boat out.
scouting. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so eventually the first tree falls, you see Kabui's kind of cut the entirety of it, and you loud it kind of lands, the snow fires off, and you see him do this kind of really immature kick, like on the branch. He's like, yeah, take that, you piney bastard. He's obviously in a quite a sour mood. And shouts
I
over,
look at Maverick and I'm like, he makes orc women look attractive, and that's a disgrace.
and he shouts over, hey, Angel boy, where are we putting the trees? You seem to be the commanding officer on this operation now? Oh, how nice.
We lead him up against the edge, cliffside. What you can do is you can have the tree partially hanging over the edge, tying ropes to the end of it, and tying the other end to an already standing tree in its roots. Cut the rope, let the tree slide down the cliffside.
Ah, tough guy, come on, give me some help. I need your big, strong muscles. And he kind of does a coy kind of arm tensing thing towards him. Got an exaggerated facial expression, kind of.
Alright, I'm coming.
They're going to become the best of friends.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna make out after this.
God.
I'm just kidding. The tension is high.
Let me feel them. You want to feel mine?
Do you want to feel my biceps? Oh yeah, you want to feel my biceps?
Okay, so what we'll do now is as you get trees set up and everything like that, I want Maverick always seems to be leading the operation, so I want you to make me a survival check, see if you can get that all in order. But once you've done that, we're gonna time jump straight forward.
Oh man, I have no survival skills. I just have the concept
Boy.
in my head.
It's like, yep, tie the ropes, sir. Do that, it'll be fine.
Yeah, you know, just anchor them to already good trees sitting in the ground. That seems pretty good. Alright, come on. Oh, that's very average. Below average.
You think the trees will work? They might work. You've done your best in the time you have.
Oh, they have a +1. Never mind. 8. That's still not great.
Okay.
As long as they don't fall at the wrong time. That's...
Lugos. You arrive back at
Yeah.
camp and you quickly rally people together. You give them a location.
I want to make sure I'm definitely not in my shifted form
Yeah, of course.
first.
It's like this werewolf man just jumps back into camp. We're like,
Did your beard
whoa!
grow in the
I'm not-
few hours you were gone?
His
On
eyebrows
the
seem
edge of
bushier.
the woods, like with the I just like I want to like shake and like really try to like calm myself down before
Yeah.
proceeding forward, because like he doesn't like tapping into his quote unquote like newfound ability. He feels guilty every time he does.
But so you tell the Grease Admiral, as people call him, where
Mm-hmm.
they gather up. You see horses attached to these very raggedy old artillery carts, and you kind of head off following the same path, obviously making sure to tell them about the owlbear. And you kind of leave the stinking camp. The air, it's somber. You hear shaky breathing and rhythmic footsteps, feeling the cool air around you as you march onwards through the snowy forest. Branches breaking, fresh-laid snow crumbling under your feet. Everyone is silent. You see one or two men kind of grab cigars and alcohol, taking a puff and washing it down with an aged whiskey. And they kind of reach their hands towards a locket around my neck and kind of murmur stuff to themselves. And as they breathe out, their breath kind of just ices around them. The sun is beginning to go down and nighttime come out. 50 feet or so back, behind like the main almost vanguard of everyone, you see 4 overworked horses, kind of these big kind of grey Shire horses, pushing, well, 2 small artillery carts of Inya and Wiz, the kind of wiry, wiry aged man, and a small kind of inexperienced guy kind of leading these horses and not talking at all, just kind of staring right at the floor and just raspy breathing. 20 minutes or so later, you make decent time and the ambush site is within point. You kind of set yourself up on the edge of the forest, meet up with everyone. You perch on the hill, obviously overlooking kind of this natural bottleneck on the road of like the pond and stuff like that. And as you kind of get settled down and meet up back with everyone, Caboose kind of says hi to his friends again and just immediately gets a massive sip of whiskey. And as you settle down, you can hear faint marching and war songs in the distance, growing ever closer. Just these faint, ominous drums. Inya and Wiz set the cannons down, surround them in foliage and branches and trees, make sure they're aimed right at the bottleneck, and you see as the other soldiers sit and contemplate 1,000 things. You see the Grease Admiral kind of stands on the far reaches of the forest, where pretty much Maverick and kind of Caboose and you all were kind of having a fight. You see as he just kind of stares straight into the night sky, silhouetted kind of in the snowy landscape around him. He turns back to the forest and rests himself against a tree. He kind of clenches his eyes closed and sighs deeply. What is everyone doing? Everyone is getting, essentially, ready for their possible death.
Does he have the inspiring leader feat so we can get temp HP?
You never know.
Is he going to give a speech? No. Okay. Because I was thinking about that. He's like, he stands like, oh, is he going to make a speech?
Everyone is just really doing their own thing, and silence really there. Terrified.
I want to make sure that the trees are well secured, and I'll help out around trees and whatnot. I might be better able to serve if I scout to where the war drums are coming from.
Okay, so you're gonna head down out just like a forward scout. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, stealth for me.
Oh, sure. 1 second here. That's the wrong roll. Forget that.
Athletics. Ooh.
Okay.
I mean, we can keep the 14. Never mind. 18's better.
And if I'm
Let's go,
alone in the
Lucas.
forest, I can also move at a normal pace while
Okay.
stealthing.
Yeah, so you quickly
So-
kind of get yourself set up to where you'll be able to see kind of the approaching war party much easier. Probably about 10 minutes before everyone else. And you all kind of just do your thing in camp, and Maverick, Caboose kind of finishes talking to Wiz and Inya and Grace Admiral. He gets up and he walks over to you and he's like, can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah, sure. Doing all right, bud?
He kind of takes a seat down and he's like, yeah, I just want to say, I think you're a good man.
You know what? Likewise, Caboose. We both have our airs about us.
You could say that. A lot of stupid decisions. I'm sorry about, almost whitewashing your friend and killing a guy and punching a tree.
What matters, Caboose, is that the people who are dead are enemies at the end of the day. We'll have plenty of time to make up with this over drinks back at camp when all this is over.
Yeah. Well, I hope so.
Hey, you keep your head about you. You're trained with this, even if you are with us for about a month, and we're here for only days, so...
I'll try. And you see as he's kind of, has this very kind of raspy, hyperventilating kind of breathing, his hands are shaking. He's like... Oh, stay safe. Be brave. And he goes and sits back down with all his friends.
Be brave.
What are the rest of you doing?
Are you sitting around? Are there any fires or anything? Or are
They
we all
haven't lit a
cold?
campfire now. They literally just sat in kind of a
Okay.
circle against trees, drinking and smoking and talking very quietly.
So she'll join them
Oh.
as she kind of cleans off her rapier from earlier.
Yeah, you kind of sit down next to this guy with kind of a long beard that's been braided, and he turns, he's like, "Oh, you killed someone earlier."
Oh yes, there was a couple scouts from the army that's approaching, so we finished them rather quickly.
So he like reaches out like the classic kind of gesture for like someone to extend their hands. He's like, "I'm Mateus. It's wonderful to meet you."
Joy, it's nice to meet you too.
Say, Joy, how do you feel about the competition?
Intrigued.
Ah.
What kind of competition?
Kill count. Make fun of a battle. Most of the guys
Yes.
here do not like it. Not brave enough to take me up on the offer.
Oh, I would love to.
I
What
have
are
6
we
kills to my
wagering?
name in the last month. Quite impressive if I say so myself.
Yes. Good job.
What about you? Is this your first kill?
Oh no. Are we talking the last month? Last few months? Last year? What kind of range?
I really do not know if I want to know the answer.
I don't think you do.
I do not know whether to be impressed or terrified. Do you smoke?
Tell you.
Joy's
What was that?
putting the men in their place right now. It's like, are you sure you really wanna?
He turns, he's like,
Oh.
"Do you smoke?"
A little, yes.
He kind of turns and he like extends this kind of nice pipe and lights it. And he's like, this is fine stuff from the island of Heatgard. Tell me, where are you from, Joy?
Oh shit. Give me 1 second. Let's see. I don't think I named my hometown.
What is it with all tieflings? All tieflings smoke.
It's an essential character trait. That's what it is.
Correct.
You're not
What's
lying.
like a medium-sized town in the country?
I think actually the original, because I know you wanted to come from like a relatively warm area. The
Yeah.
original thing we had come on was from the island of Heatgard.
Okay.
So that would be where
Yeah, where
your
it's from.
tobacco's from. You smoked up.
How do you know it's tobacco?
Oh yeah, how do you know it's tobacco?
I'm assuming it's not.
Always assume
from
the worst as someone with a weird accent.
I'm assuming it
Yeah.
definitely is.
I'm from the island of Heatgard. What
Oh,
about you?
I was raised all over. I do not quite know where it's from.
Fair, fair.
When I was young, my father was killed. Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
Interesting fact, he was killed by the White Wings before they splintered off, so you could say it's a
Fuck.
personal vendetta.
Yes. Well, don't worry.
Yeah.
We'll do well tomorrow. Or whenever they show up.
Uh,
I'm not worried.
I guess about an hour's time. And
Yeah.
you see as he brings a flask out as well, and like he kind of has it has 2 parts to it. It's like it can come off like a top, so you can pour it into like a cup. He hands the cup to you, and he's like, "Cheers! Let us not be dead by the morning."
Yes, good luck.
What are the rest of you doing?
Hopefully, I finished my short rest.
Yeah, you do definitely finish your short rest by this time.
I need my warlock stuff back.
You doing anything interesting?
More murmuring to myself, just actually speaking out to Zalicus.
Okay. Kind of wishing for like blessing in the battle.
Yeah, but more like begrudgingly.
Yeah. Kind of. Yeah.
But like, I don't like that I'm in this situation, but you've given me strength, and I hope that continues forth this night.
As you kind of finish this blessing, you feel a strength kind of wash over you, and like it's like it's really weird. It's like almost like an audible sound, but not quite. It's like this kind of passing sensation of like a voice when it disappears instantly, and you feel like strength over you. But then you hear like a whimpering kind of behind you. You all hear this whimpering, and like you turn and you see for a small boy, like, you know, it's Wiz, kind of a relatively weedy guy with like short cropped hair. He's kind of sat against a tree, kind of next to Inya and Caboose, kind of sandwiched in between them with his head down, kind of gently sobbing to himself. You see, yeah, Grace has kind of gone down and sat with him while he's still kind of staring like into a middle distance, and Caboose and Inya are essentially kind of sat together, kind of almost cuddling. They're kind of just talking very quietly whilst doing that.
Give them their time.
I will give you an option to overhear. Yeah, by beginning the conversation, I will give you an option to overhear if you want, but it isn't necessary. It's like if you just want to be nosy and distract yourself.
Joa said she's going to take off soon and shit.
Okay. Yeah, I see. We'll be, yeah, finishing
I'll let them
relatively soon.
have their moment. I'm not going to eavesdrop on them.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm not eavesdropping. I'm gonna continue to chat with the guys and drink a little.
Leokas, are you eavesdropping? I have no idea if that's the kind of thing you'd do. Well, I do have an idea. Is he here?
Lugos? Yeah, I'm here. Or Leokas.
Leokas.
What's up, sorry?
Would you eavesdrop on a conversation if you heard it, or would you be respectful and let them have their private conversation?
Whose conversation?
It's like the guys, so like Caboose and Grease and his friends, kind of sat sobbing and
Yeah,
probably. Oh, of course, yeah. So you're gonna eavesdrop on a conversation, Lugos. You see like the first signs of contact. You see about maybe 15 people kind of moving up in like a formation with like two cannons at the rear, slowly moving up a valley.
Ooh, okay. I see them, like, this is definitely the White Wings, right?
Definitely, they're in the chainmail. At the front, they're led by this kind of officer who's got a flag bearer next to him as this huge kind of flag waving in the night air. You
There's
can just see
15
it.
of them, you said?
15 to 20 from what you can count.
Can I count, like, would I know if there's any more on the way?
It looks to be that's it, because we normally have the cannons protected in the very rear vanguard. They just have the cannons at the rear of this pillar.
What do I hear?
Just war songs in a language. It appears to be in Dwarvish, the war song we're singing. And we have like some drums at the front as well.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask about the drums, because I remember you said that there were drums before, so.
Yeah. It's kind of echoing around the entirety of the valley.
Damn, I'm trying to, like, how many cannons do they have?
It looks like two cannons at the back, the same as you.
Damn, dude, I wish I had a way to, like, sabotage these cannons somehow.
You reckon it'll be about 10 minutes before they're on where your ambush location is.
Let me see here, real quick. Let me see what I have in my inventory. Because I could just shoot an arrow, but an arrow's not going to do anything to stop a big fucking cannon. Unless it would. I'm just kidding. Give me 1 second here.
You don't want to start a fight too soon.
No, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I'm going to go back then. Ignore that. That was an accident. Yeah, I'm going to go back quickly. To let the rest of the group know that they're about 10 minutes away.
Okay. So as you sprint back through the woods to the camp of the wall, where you wait in complete anxiety and hesitation for a war party approaching you, what could possibly be a suicide mission, praying to whatever gods you have, engaging whatever comforts you have left, drink and tobacco. You all wait silently in the night as the footsteps of Lugos begin to crunch over snow towards you. A faint fog drifts down into the valley as the war drums grow ever closer. And with that, I think that's where we'll end tonight's session. Interesting
Good
things
place
for
to end
tomorrow. There we go.
Fuck, man. This could, like... This, I wasn't expecting it to get to this point. This could, like, we could actually die.
Yeah,
Here's
yeah.
Kind of bummed
possibility.
to miss out on tomorrow.
Yeah. It's just instant kind of payoff.
We'll figure out tomorrow if we're dead or not.
You definitely will.
I'd imagine if Kashal's with us, he's just trying to like play his guitar. There's a slight
Yeah.
guitar twang.
He's probably trying to lighten the really grim, like, dark mood
Yeah.
that everybody is in currently.
Everyone's like not having it. Just let us have
Yeah.
a moment, man.
Yeah, that was an
Man.
interesting one.
Just let us be sad, please. Fuck off.
So, any more questions about the session, or can we talk about one at bar? Or is that good?
Man, this was interesting. Did you expect us to go this route?
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds reinforcing.
All of a sudden, let's ambush him. Let's do it.
Yeah, but
Alright, man. Well, hopefully, man, I don't know. I could get my money. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully by next week,
You can
I'll
check
be
the
able
IRS
to.
website and log in with
Yeah.
your social and find out.
But
They said that
with
they
that,
mailed it to me on the 6th.
we will end the stream for the night. Of course, thank you for watching as always. Make sure you catch up on YouTube or come follow us on Instagram or Twitter. We have those as well if you want to keep updated on the know on what's happening. But we'll catch you tomorrow at the usual time because this one was a bit weird. But yeah, we will see you tomorrow instead of next week for the session 7 of a Roundtable. Let's see how this ambush ends. Right. Have a good night,
So
everyone.
I'm prepared. We have D&D again.
Have the strangest feeling to know what to believe in. Cause every time you touch me, I can't control my body. Oh, baby, you are on my mind. All I think about, and I don't wanna stop. I don't wanna stop. Could you come closer to me? I just can't resist you. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. I am stuck in a dreaming. I can't help what I'm feeling. I don't know if I'm breathing when you are with me. My heart is beating. I am stuck in a dreaming. I can't help what I'm feeling. I don't know if I'm breathing when you are with me. My heart is beating. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. Getting into you. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. Getting into you. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. Getting into you. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. Getting into you. It's like we're in a movie. I don't know how you do it. I look into your eyes and everything is different. Baby, you are on my mind. All I think about, and I don't wanna stop. I don't wanna stop. Could you come closer to me? I just can't resist you. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. I am stuck in a dreaming. I can't help what I'm feeling. I don't know if I'm breathing when you are with me. My heart is beating. I am stuck in a dreaming. I can't help what I'm feeling. I don't know if I'm breathing when you are with me. My heart is beating. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. Getting into you. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. Getting into you. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. Getting into you. I'm Baby, you are on my mind. I can't control my body, can't control my body, 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 body. I am stuck in a dreaming. I can't help what I'm feeling.